fucking all the time spent on fucking games that are already out, just getting new stuff. Like, yeah, some of that, but then Redfall they showed. Like, I was bored halfway through Redfall. But
I
anyway,
mean, that's definitely not my game either, but at least they showed it.
yeah, that's a good point. So what's up? We got let's see, Hobbit on hold, Donnie, Ayers, Lenny, and Vizard in the chat. What's up, guys? Just me and Retro right now.
You're gonna get all the good opinions now.
Yep. And it's just crazy. But I'm sure T will be in. I don't know about Robert. I know Terrell's out and Clock this not be
Oh,
here. So
Drell's actually out?
yeah, he's got to do some things with the house, I think.
I don't think I saw that.
So yeah, let's just start. I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna start off by saying that I'm not really in the video game mindset. The last 3 weekends I've been working on my home theater. I didn't watch any of the shows live. I didn't watch the Jeff Keighley one at all. Actually, I did watch the Capcom one just now because I was watching it through the Sphere Hunter Susie. Her reaction. She's a huge Capcom Resident Evil fan, so that added some hype level.
I was gonna say that's probably why you enjoyed the show.
But I will say that the Resident Evil Village DLC and the Resident Evil 4, which was already announced, but definitely my most hype moment from whenever this started, Thursday or Friday last week, whenever that stuff started. Silksong's right there for me as like the most hype moments of the entire everything they showed. So I'm
came out
pumped.
of nowhere.
I got 3 Resident Evil games to put the discs in and get the free upgrade, PS5 upgrade. I could do it tonight. I'll probably wait. I've been waiting to replay 7 after they announced that. I'd love it if they had the third person mode to 7. That I'd almost wait for that. But I've been wanting to finish up Claire's B story and give 3 another shot, which I won't have time for anytime soon, but that's just all exciting stuff for me. Yeah, so I just wanted to start off by saying I haven't been in a gaming mindset, so I didn't even. You guys were live chatting about the Jeff Keighley show. It sounded terrible.
that man, that was hilarious in the chat. But I wasn't even gonna watch it. But I was looking in the chat and Clockett and Robert were going back and forth. Man, let me just turn this shit on for a little bit. I feel like most big companies feel like what we do. They don't even give him any shit anymore. That show was just bad. Like you had the most unknown shit you never heard of. It was absolutely terrible.
Giving people like time on stage to talk about these I know that it's good for these companies, some of these games to get some more attention, but as far as if it's not a game you're interested in, you definitely don't want to sit there for 5 minutes while the guy talks about it, the guy or girl. So it's really dependent on if you're interested in the game. But it felt a little bit like E3. I will give Microsoft credit and the Capcom, being all kind of bunched together. It felt a little bit like E3 the last few days.
And Jeff Keighley. Gotta give the man credit.
Didn't even watch
That's
it.
what we just said. That was just such garbage, man. That was what the fuck.
And you like the Day of the Dev show. That is still, Jeff Keighley let him, do the thing over there, to be fair.
He's claiming credit for that shit. He was even claiming credit for the fucking Devolver Digital after that. It's his whole
and
thing.
He was claiming, if you go on the Game Awards, it was the Game Awards channel, they were streaming the Capcom showcase, hashtag Summer Game Fest. So it was a part of Summer Game Fest.
Exactly. He's trying to make it a thing that it's not. But all in all, it's feeling like E3. Even if the Summerfest wasn't the thing, you had Summerfest, the indie one, Devolver, you had Capcom now, Xbox. Everybody's giving that thing, so they can say E3 is canceled, but it's really not,
And even the State of Play last week or whatever said,
true.
even on the side, Summer Game Fest.
Oh no! Don't say it like
that. Yes,
that.
I'm not joking. That was it had the logo. Sony was like, yes, we are a part of this thing. So to be fair, You gotta give the man credit for something, yo. But however, where will their allegiance lie next year? Will it be the Summer Game Fest or E3? They have to pick a side, right? So technically, I'd be curious to see. Be like, sorry, Keely, we gotta go with E3.
Gotta go back to the real show, motherfucker.
Even though, like you said, it's the same thing, but like, what will they call it? I'm very curious. I feel like there's gonna be friendships will be broken between Jeff Keighley and other companies.
And I think, like I said, it's already breaking down. Like people are not even giving him. He had nothing in his show really. Even the only Nintendo thing was like.
Oh, he froze.
Oh.
What was the Nintendo thing?
You can't talk bad about Nintendo here, man. It's gonna.
The only
Am I
Nintendo.
back?
You froze when you said the only Nintendo.
Oh, they only had Strikers, the
had
rehashed
Strikers.
trailer we already saw. Like there was
Oh well,
nothing.
no, it was an ad. It wasn't like a trailer. It was just an ad for
Yeah, well,
Switch.
that's what I mean. They had nothing. Like he had nothing big or like. Come on, like it was
We already
nothing.
know
this show.
basically everything from Nintendo for the.
Yeah, I
year,
mean
so.
well, maybe. I mean, you never know, man. Maybe you get some sneak little one game. You
I
never know.
don't see any room for no big game this year.
Yeah, I know. There's not. I guess there wouldn't really. There's
Well,
already
you can
pretty
still have a
stacked.
reveal that's just not for this year from Nintendo. You can get
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, the only thing that I'm actually looking forward to, and that's as sad as it is like the new Mario Kart 8 Courses trailer.
Oh, I can't wait, bro. Yeah, I
Like
mean,
sitting like
it's
this
gonna
for
be
that.
fun. It's gonna be fun for
I'm
sure.
looking forward to that.
Yeah,
So T,
but
I know-
that'd be tomorrow, bro. Tuesday. They're gonna have the direct tomorrow.
Remember, people have been directs now reports are saying the 20 whatever.
Yeah,
it
the
is, it wasn't
29th,
this
yeah.
week.
26th or 9th or
My
something.
birthday.
Oh yeah,
This week
there you
all
go,
the
that'd be
rumors
good.
and leaks said this week, but I don't honestly like like I just said. I feel like I mean, yeah. Do I need to know any more 2023 games from any? Like at this point, I'm so oversaturated with 2023 games in the last 3 or 4 days. It's like I don't need any more. I don't care at this point. It's like just wait till the end of this year or early next year, unless the game's coming out like first 3 months. Then obviously you want to announce it this year. But yeah, so just for me overall, I was saying before you guys joined, like I've just been so out of it that I wasn't really going into this with anything like excitement. So I didn't even watch the Jeff Keighley one. I watched the Microsoft one like 3 hours later, so I'd seen that Silksong was announced and basically seen the rundown of what was there. So it wasn't like I was watching it live. It was just kind of when I had some time, I sat down and skipped through it a little bit. So it wasn't the same for me as past years where I have a week off and I just watch everything, and react to it and stuff. So for me, it was a bit different of a year. So I wasn't like in that mindset to be excited or even really care at this point, to be honest. So I know my opinion's gonna be a little bit different probably than most people. But
Yeah.
And then also Sonic Frontiers was shown before that, like earlier in the week or the week before, because we didn't have.
And
a
they had
podcast.
that Pokemon little thing.
Pokemon had their thing. Since
Yeah.
Lightning brought up Sonic Frontiers,
Pokemon.
that
They showed the new N64 game.
Damn, yeah.
at least they showed you can catch Pokemon in the wild though, like you can in Legend.
Like in
Arceus.
yeah.
That's all I needed to see. But I gotta say, the Sonic fan base just never disappoints me. They never disappoint me. Now the thing is, all the good stuff they're showing behind the scenes, all the good gameplay they're showing behind the scenes at this event. That's it. You got the Sonic fans are by it. Maybe it's true, but I'm like, really, guys?
They never disappoint you because they're never disappointed.
They just don't disappoint because it's so laughable. I'm like, oh, so all the good stuff that everybody wants to see, they're just holding that. And what we saw was just some super early footage. And I'm thinking, come on, that's the game.
They set this big ass thing up with IGN and they're hiding stuff instead of showing it with IGN. Oh, come on.
I don't
Come on,
know.
man.
I hope
The
it's
stupid
true.
thing is, they just showed some new combat stuff again. I'm excited for this game. I want to play it as weird as it looks. But like, they showed some new combat stuff just like a few minutes ago, I think. And people are like, wow, this is so much better than the combat stuff they showed on IGN. But like, it's literally the exact same shit. Like I don't see what's different about it.
Yeah, my quick take on it. I got the same vibes as when the first time I saw Balan's Wonderworld gameplay. I
Damn.
had the exact same.
Come on now. Come on.
I had the exact same feeling. I'm like, this looks like dog shit. Everything they showed looked just absolutely the wrong thing in my opinion. I'm like, they just don't get it. They just will never get it. That
I'm not
looks
even gonna
worse to
lie,
me
though.
than when I saw Forces, the first gameplay for Forces, by far.
Worse than Forces?
I
Come
thought
on,
it
man.
looked
Come
like
on now.
absolutely.
No. I mean,
I think it's
shit.
one of the worst gameplay reveals I've ever seen. It's
Forces look like the most generic bullshit
but at least
of all
Forces
time.
look. I mean, they showed a 2D
like a
section.
game.
Looked
It looked like a
cool.
game, though. You know, at
This
least Forces looked like a
literally,
game.
like Robert nailed it on the head. Looked like an Unreal Engine 5 tech demo somebody threw together. Like that did not look like a game that was supposed to be out last year, and is coming out anytime soon. That just looked like some, they threw something together to make a presentation. Hey, this is what we're thinking for the next game.
Maybe they trolling y'all. Maybe they do have
Okay.
something up their sleeve.
Okay,
They're
Sonic.
getting a lot of.
Why would they
they're
do
getting
that?
A lot
Why
of
would they do
attention.
that?
They're getting a lot of attention because people
That's
talking
my
shit.
2 cents.
then
Not
boom.
only that though, but isn't it like the weird? It's just that whole game reveal is just the
I was like,
strangest
oh,
thing. Because it's like when we see that, like, what is the game? Like, what is it? We have to read tweets from some dude from IGN to get an idea of what
What
it
about the
actually
fucking
is.
rail grinding? That's just like looks like somebody drew it with their mouse in the background, and it's like
Maybe it's a Stranding type game. You know?
Oh, it's a Stranding type game. But it's
So
that you
that's-
run in there.
I'm
It's
calling it right
you
now.
Run in the,
I'm calling it 60 or below Metacritic when the game comes out. I'm calling it. You guys can mark it down, write it down. I would bet money that it's. I mean, maybe not 60. It's definitely below 70. There's no way.
You don't know the power of Sonic fandom. You think
Because
it's-
finally,
no, but the
Forces
Metacritic,
was
the
what,
Metacritic
45?
critics don't give a shit when it comes to that. So
Didn't Forces get like a 45 or 50?
it was around there.
No.
Yeah. It
did?
It was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was real. Let me see. I'll check for you. It was different
I'm saying
platforms
60.
got different ones.
Like I'm
But
telling you, it's the same gut feeling I had when
let's see.
Balan was first shown. It's not the same gameplay, just the same gut feeling I had. Oh, this isn't going to be good. So that was my take.
Like, what I just don't understand is that it just because again, I'm interested in playing this, but what I understand is you have like a very realistic,
Retro,
man.
like your internet, bro.
That's French
Yeah,
internet.
You're freezing.
I'll say the average is 57. Sonic Forces,
57.
which I'll say honestly should be lower, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I thought
Hey,
it was
didn't that one Japanese site give it a 36 out of 40?
Famitsu, man, they give
Famitsu.
so many things a higher
36 out of 40. I think they gave Mario plus Rabbids that.
Donnie, I've seen two fan
It's
games
as good as
that
Mario
looked
plus Rabbids.
as good or better
Yeah.
than Forces or Frontier. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit ones too, but just talking.
I was thinking like the more I was just watching that whole trailer, the whole combat trailer they call it, I can't help but think I'm like, man, the way he moves, the way he walks, I'm like, it just doesn't. Oh man, when he's like you saw when he's like spinning around and he's like, there's no animation for him. It's just him spinning around, and it's very strange. I'm like, oh, this feels like someone made this in dreams, like legit.
Well, that
Like-
was an early build.
Yeah,
Steve.
that was like that was
It's an early build that's supposed to come out in the next 6 months. It's like
that was
what
early
the
2021
fuck?
build right there. That was
It's like Jesus
bullshit.
Christ.
They wouldn't show something that early if they didn't. If they had good stuff to show, they would at least teased it or something like.
But they don't have good shit to show anywhere. So why are they doing this? Why did they set up with IGN to make it this big rollout thing? And it's the worst rollout of a video game I think I've ever seen.
It's so
terrible.
bizarre. It is
It's
so
First little
bizarre.
teaser showed some promise. I'm always running an open world. That looks cool. And Retro, now that you can click back to
yeah.
what you're saying.
If it happens again, you guys gotta let me know. I'll try to reboot. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Anyway, all I was saying is like I don't understand why you have like a normal world with like shit in the air instead of having the world be made Sonic. Like have the loopings made out of the earth and stuff.
Exactly.
Or like you have a railing in the air, but just make a wall out of the rock and grind on that. I don't understand. It's like really bad, just game design.
It just looks like somebody, like you said in Dreams, just randomly placing shit. Like I don't.
Mhm. And I don't get like what like, but again, like what is the game like? Like you're running around, right? And we don't see anything. You're not collecting rings, right? It's not like okay, you
There
collect
was
there.
red. I think the red star coins or something,
I mean,
or red
every
rings
time
or
he gets
something.
hit, there are rings though.
No, but
So
I'm saying it's like, what is the point of being there? Like, like at least in in Mario Odyssey, you're collecting moons and whatever. You're getting to the goal.
According to
You're doing like,
Terrell, you
there's
have
no
to
end. There's
you have to
no
go to
finish line.
spots.
There's no like, what is it?
You have to do things in spots to open up the world further. So that one where he's like spinning in a wheel and it like sends out a shockwave of like
Hmm.
that's apparently how you expand the world that of things you can do. And I'm like, the biggest problem is what Retro was saying. You have this open world. Why don't you have natural loops in the earth? You got this tower. You got these
Yeah.
the stupid like slow climbing. He gets to the top, and you could tell that he's just doesn't have a really good walk animation. So he's like
Yeah, that's the.
trying to get to the ledge without running off,
Hmm.
and then you just have constant pads and rings that are sending you on a straight path in a designed linear path, and you have this huge open world that kind of contradicts the whole point of an open world if you just have to find
Is
this.
it huge?
Well, it looked pretty
It
big.
doesn't look. I mean, huge. I mean,
Well, that section they showed isn't huge, but I'm saying is if you have an open space, you can go anywhere. But it just has, hey, let's just go back to our roots of rail grinding and sending you shooting forward automatically, sending you places where you don't have to do anything. And I'm like, God, you just had the option. You have the opportunity to like add some actual skill based gameplay. Imagine running super fast and you see there's a platform and you know, man, if I time this jump going super fast, I should probably be able to land on that and then jump again and then maybe do some wall running and hit a loop de loop. Just like cool like organic stuff in the world and use your speed, not this temporary little boost that reminded me of what was I just on Elden Ring. One of the worst parts of Elden
But
Ring is your horse has a like your dodge roll becomes just like a short dash that lasts for half a second and doesn't really do
but Juice,
anything.
I mean, you're talking about gameplay. Gameplay is hard for Sega
It is.
and Sonic.
it's a damn shame
goodness.
because like I mean, I guess it's the Sonic team, but like Sega, like like they're nailing it with the Yakuza franchise stuff like that. But for Sonic, their
the
star
Sonic team is
franchise, right?
like
They just
Game
don't.
Freak.
Which
The
is
Sonic team,
it's their biggest, most recognizable IP,
yeah.
and they seem to just treat it like it's a double
Well,
A game.
don't you remember
And it's just
RGT
like,
85? His whole review of Forces is there's nothing wrong with middleware games.
he loved Forces.
And that actually
Middleware for your top tier
for
franchise.
your icon,
For the
your
mainline, for the
mascot.
mainline new,
Your mascot character
And I won't
is
name any
middleware.
names, but I'll say
Goddamn.
my reaction to RG's review kind of ended a partnership or ended a relationship, if you will, with a Juiceless Loose crew member over that because there was some offense taken to my my review of RGT's review of Sonic Forces. I thought it was just an absolute joke. To call it okay that it's middleware. It's fucking Sonic. It's a mainline new Sonic game. You shouldn't be defending it because middleware is an okay thing. There's nothing wrong with smaller games.
Yeah, middleware is fine.
But
We love
Like-
middleware.
like for a mainline Sonic game, like that's what you're just treating it as,
'Cause
how many years
people-
after,
People like comparing like Sonic on the same level as Mario, but I feel Sonic is more on the same level as like the Pokemon team, where you have this massive franchise, but it's like you can't really
Pokemon.
design games though. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
they just don't know what to do.
I'd say you could compare Sonic Forces to Bowser's Fury in that they're like a smaller scale of games
Mhm.
in a way, but
And
Bowser's
they're
Fury
leagues apart.
it's yeah like it's like two different solar systems in terms of polish and stuff. And I
Yeah.
know you don't
I
even
didn't
love the
Bowser's
game.
Fury, but I said it's still better than most third person or most 3D platformers not Nintendo made that I've ever played. You know, it's still better than the majority of 3D platformers.
And trust me, what I mean, like Sonic Forces was just really bad, and it was one of those games where over time where I was playing and I'm like, I mean, it's fine, and I kept playing more, then I eventually finished it or whatever, and I was just like, dude, no, I'm annoyed at this game. I'm legit annoyed. This is legit not a good game, and it's really bad, and I can't imagine seeing Frontier so far where I'm like, man, what are they doing with this game? Oh, it takes you to different areas that are more like the traditional Sonic levels. Is
Then
that
why not
supposed to be
just
like
do
a good
that and
thing? Like
leave this other bullshit?
yeah, I don't even
Yeah,
know.
focus on that and doing that, and leave this other bullshit alone. Do a Mario 3D World type of thing where, okay, you want to have this area where they go around and do stuff. All right, just do something as simple as the 3D World map, you
Mm.
know. And
Well, they
and
kind of did that actually with Lost World. Remember? I mean, it's more like you're walking along, but remember they had the little
yeah,
like a
yeah,
little,
Lost World did that. Yeah, that's
you
true.
know.
I forgot. Yeah.
But honestly, I think they had something with Lost World, and they just were like, fuck it, we're not doing this. It's like, what, bro? You could have, fine tuned Lost World.
Fine tune that formula.
You know?
Yeah,
It
because I
can't
mean,
be this
Lost World
goddamn
had its
hard.
moments. I mean, I enjoyed
Yeah.
You had
parts.
like the Dream slander early on. I just want to say quickly, and this is not a retro deathism or some shit. There are legit games in Dreams that
No,
are
100%.
way better
Nobody's
and more
slandering dreams.
developed. Look, because like I think Robert said, it's like in Dreams where you just place a reel. But man, I've seen
Well,
shit
no,
No,
in
no,
no.
no. It's
Dreams.
you said it.
What
You
he's
said
saying
it.
is the Sonic games in Dreams, that most of them aren't that great. I mean, everybody's
No,
just
there's a
Yeah,
lot
comparing
of
okay.
something that.
there's a lot
That's
of
what
them
he's
that,
saying. He's not
yeah,
saying
there's a
Dreams
lot of
sucks.
them that
Dreams is
are.
awesome.
Okay.
But that's why,
Uh,
like, you could see, like, the way, like, in the end of the day, as impressive as Dreams is, I could tell when I'm looking at a Dreams games and how it moves and
Right.
how it walks.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
It
specific
has a
way
certain
to
feel
as
to
of
the
a very
to the
specific.
shading and stuff, the
Hmm.
brushes that you use that you
Right.
recognize. But
Yeah.
like you see devs that are making shit in Dreams that are just like so fucking solid when it comes to
Oh, 100%.
controls and world
I'm not
design.
downplaying Dreams at all because I love the game. I think it's great. It's just when you're talking about Sonic and Sega and there, I really shouldn't be comparing it to the guy in his room on his PS4 making dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like that really shouldn't be compared to, you know,
Yeah, that
and
shouldn't
that's
even be anything
shouldn't be a
anybody even
thought in my
thinks of.
mind.
So anyway,
You
we
This
know.
is
better move
Sonic,
on. We
bro.
got a lot of other stuff to talk about.
No,
Fucking
let's talk more
Sonic.
about Sonic.
Yeah, we're talking
Terrell's
about
not even
Sonic
here.
right now.
He probably doesn't want to be here, but I mean, I hope there's a bunch of good gameplay and shit that they're hiding, but I just don't. I'm not gonna fall for it. Like I'll believe it when I see it, and if that's true, then great. I wouldn't be mad if they actually put out a good game. Because I was excited
Yeah,
by
of
the
course.
teaser. I'm like, damn, that looks almost like what I've been asking for. And then I saw the gameplay. I was like, no, that's not.
Yeah, and then yeah.
That's not at all
No,
what I was
it's
asking
not.
for. So anyway, I think State of Play was next, and for State of Plays, they're hit and miss. Sometimes most of the time they're just not super exciting. This one had for me one of the best announcements from the whole weekend into today, which they showed more of, was the Resident Evil 4 remake, which was obvious they were going to do that, but it's coming out in March. It's current gen only, so PS5 and series consoles and PC. I'm super excited for that because I love what they did with 2. 3 had some potential, started out great, but you kind of fell a little flat there in the middle. And then
I got one problem. It's dark. Like nighttime dark, I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, they showed a little bit more footage today, and like it.
I didn't see the
It wasn't as dark. You could see them kind of like entering the beginning of the village.
Which one?
Resident Evil 4, the remake they're doing.
Oh,
Well, the reimagining as they call it, which is a more appropriate. I think that's what
Yeah,
a
it's true,
remake
they
should
do
be.
that,
I
yeah.
think what The Last of Us Part 1's doing needs a new class, just adding new character models and new textures over the exact same game. I think needs to have its own category because I
One
just
of the
feel
greatest games of all time.
I just feel
But
like
you need to catch
for me, ever since Resident Evil 2 remake, that's kind of what I want. If you're gonna remake a game, like do something a little
Remaster.
different. You don't have to like completely redo it, but if I'm just hearing all the same dialogue, seeing all the same cutscenes, but with new character models, then and you're charging full price for that, which we're getting ahead because that wasn't in the state of play. That's just absolute bullshit. Like that was one of the worst announcements from the entire thing.
Yeah.
The fact that it's
It's more than full price. As long as it's
Well,
$70 is beyond full
they're
price.
acting
It's
like
70.
it's a new game.
It's 70, and they have a Firefly edition for $100. Just like
It's like what happened last gen was they did the shit right. They did Shadow of the Colossus for $40. Even Activision was doing trilogies, completely redone trilogies for $40. Like what? How did we go from that?
Well, it reminds me of the excuses and people when we talked about Wii U games coming to Switch. We were like, oh god, here they're doing. Oh well, not a lot of people got to play those. You can't say that shit about. You can't say that about Last of Us. It sold 20 million
Exactly.
copies. Fuck off with that. But that's they'll just find an excuse.
they'll
and
say,
that's what
"Oh well,
fans do.
there's a new generation of people that are gonna play because of the show."
Right, I heard that. I've heard that. I'm like,
I mean-
20 million people played that shit.
and
No,
your
and
damn
only though.
remastered copy for $5 on eBay could play it on the PS5.
Right.
I will
The
say-
remaster is not even like that old.
No,
Just
it's
came
not.
out
Yeah.
that
It's
thing.
not at
Well, it was
all.
2014, so we're talking what?
They're
6
doing it for the show, man, because the
years.
show's happening, so they want a game out. For
I
the
don't
show.
mind if they want to go back and put new character models and shit. Fine, charge $40. I don't care. I'll buy it someday when it's $10, like I did
Yeah.
The Last
Yeah.
of Us remastered. It was fucking $9.99.
How much did Shadow of the Colossus cost? That was a remake.
$40 day one. And
$40.
I gladly bought that. Now, that kind of reminded me, just like with Twilight Princess, that I don't get as much out of just playing the exact same game with better visuals. So I've been less inclined to buy those. And so even if The Last of Us Part 1 was $40, I still wouldn't buy it for $40. Now, down the road, like I said, $10. I don't have a physical copy of the game. I'd probably pick it up, but hell no.
Yeah,
But
but
anyway,
nobody would be complaining, I don't think, if it was $40.
the fact of treating it like in what did I get, like 15 minutes of Jeff Keighley's show, like
It was the big thing of the last.
Really?
That was the
Yeah, like,
final.
we-
that was the
when
final
it was-
reveal.
I would love to
Yeah.
see what this new AI is that he talked about and see if it really does. It really
Well,
does
it's
different.
just because it's based off the Last of Us Part 2's engine. So I think it's what the combat and stuff from the extra little things that they added on Part 2
Are
is
they
going to
gonna
be
add
in.
the
I'm like,
Part
oh,
one.
it's going to be modern. I
Yeah,
heard people
apparently
talking about
that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to
New
be.
AI.
Modern
maybe
with
finally
modern
gonna have
gunplay.
actual AI.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
Didn't
I'm
the
not
game
like I
come
said.
out in
I'm not.
2013?
I think they're doing more work than I would say should be a free upgrade for sure. It's definitely not a free upgrade with everything they've done.
No, because they obviously had to do things.
Yeah,
But,
they're not just adding ray tracing or 60
Or-
FPS mode.
yeah. No, that they're going in
Apparently,
and
But,
remaking
10 years
it.
ago isn't modern anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, they
They
really.
were talking about it's not
yeah,
modern. They
yeah.
wanted to modernize it. What?
But anyway,
It
the
was
state of
fucking-
play was before that, and that wasn't part of it for whatever reason. They
Yeah.
gave that to Jeff Keighley. Resident Evil 4
Yeah,
remake
there
was
you go.
huge. I thought Street Fighter 6 actually looks pretty good. I haven't bought a
Here,
Street
me
Fighter
too.
game
Me too.
since Turbo, and I'm like, man, that looks. I'm shocked. I'm like, that actually looks good. I really like what they're doing there. And then they showed Chun-Li a few days later, and yeah, that's
What the
4
fuck,
letters
man?
summarize Chun-Li. THIC.
THICCCC.
CCC. Yeah. Everything else, the state of play, Stray. I'm a little worried, skeptical about that game. I want it to be awesome, but I don't know. It's a little bit. I'm used incorrectly point and click. I feel like you just have to walk up, and there's all these icons for your actions. So it's like you got to
It's
wait
more of
till you
a
get a
more of
white
a little
circle,
walking simulator.
press it, and then the cat
Yeah,
jumps
what-
up.
You're not wrong, because that is the evolution of those
Yeah.
types of games. It's
I'm
evolution
like-
of a point and click.
I love watching my cat's acrobatic abilities, and so I would love to just be able to control a cat fully, like, and have like a deep movement system of a cat, like in a game. Like that would be, I think, would be really cool. But this.
There
ain't
was
gonna be
there was a couple of games though that they showed. They're like they finally
There's
showed the
Catwoman
gameplay.
on GameCube, so I might want to check.
Man, why do you do that?
that. What else? I'm trying to remember because that was.
That's where they first showed off like gameplay for the Callisto Protocol, which looks really good.
Oh yeah, that was that at the
Callisto.
State of Play or the
Yep.
previous one?
Yeah, Callisto
It was
Protocol.
they showed it at that state of play, then they showed it again at the
Yeah,
summer
that
games.
looks really good. I'm hopefully.
It looks really good. I'm
Dead
liking the look of it.
Space.
Yeah, literally
how
a
the
tribute.
environment-
I never played the original Dead Space. I thought it was Dead Space.
It looks very like borderline plagiarism, but it still looks
Yeah, I'm
good.
like, yeah, I can get sued for that shit.
But I will say, backing into that thing that's spinning and it kills you. That's a really cool idea for a survival horror kind of game. Is having your environment. You got to be careful what you back.
They get
into.
pretty brutal. The death animations, I like that.
So, yeah,
It's-
that was definitely a highlight. I don't think there was anything else.
There was
a lot
another
of
one that I thought
2023
looked.
games though. Almost everything was 2023.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
VR.
some
That was
VR
kind of a
stuff.
quick little montage though. They didn't really dive in like I
VR,
expected.
baby.
I mean, you had like the
Horizon
Go ahead.
was.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You had like the unique Horizon game that they made for
That
it. That was a
actually
new
looks pretty
game,
cool.
I think. That made
feel
for
Yeah,
like
it's,
they
VR.
showed
it's a
that
new
before.
game for.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
they
announced
Horizon
it
Call of
before.
the
They
Mountain or
announced the
something.
title,
Okay.
but it's the first time
That's
we've
what it
seen
was.
it. So yeah, that I mean, but they didn't
no
really.
price. Like,
Yeah, they didn't. Go
I'm
into
tired of
any
hearing about the
details.
PSVR 2 and I'm not seeing no price. Like, come on.
Village is going to be in the VR, which would be cool. And now they just have announced a third-person mode for Village, which is even cooler, I think.
I got Resident Evil 7 VR. I'm scared, bro.
I don't even understand the PSVR 2. Does it mean it's gonna be a new headset or is it gonna be an
Yeah,
update?
it's
Yeah,
a new
because it's got
headset.
higher
Yeah.
res screens.
Okay, so it's like a whole new thing. So
More
if you bought the first
streamlined,
one, then
Doesn't have 10 billion wires like this thing has. All the crazy
Okay.
Yeah, I
hookups.
thought they were going to kind of deep dive into the, like, hey, this is what the VR, this is only one cord, and these are the controllers, this is what you can do, but I guess they're saving that for...
What do you think it's gonna cost? I'm thinking $3.99.
I was thinking $4.99, honestly.
Oof.
Maybe 450. I'll go
I'm
in the
trying to be
middle.
generous.
450.
So, I mean, it wasn't... I thought it was a good show. It just sucked that everything's 2023. It's like...
No, it was good because there was also even some smaller games. There was one called Roller Drone that had an awesome art style. It was like you're like
That looked cool.
skating and you're
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's a third person and you're like acrobatic type shit. It looks pretty
It
cool.
reminded me of that.
Too.
That was like a movie in the 90s. I think that was something like that. I forgot what it was called. Like the super violent roller. Yeah, you know what I mean at least. Like yeah. Like it reminded me of that.
Overall, I
good.
thought it was
It looked
one
good.
of the
And that
better...
comes out actually in a few months, so that's pretty
That's
cool.
cool. They also showed, announced that Horizon's getting... It's not
Oh,
really
yeah.
anything new. It's like a extra difficulty mode.
Extra difficulty and stuff.
Which it's already hard enough on fucking hard, so I don't no interest there. But so I thought it was a pretty good state of play. I just sucked.
Yeah, it was
to me, like I
good.
said, like everything's 2023, which would continue for all the other shows, which is fine. There's enough to play this year, but it just kind of sucks when almost everything is you see that's cool is like 2023 or no date. Like Silksong got nothing.
Well, I also I've come to just fully realize that when it comes to Sony State of Plays, don't really expect Sony games.
Well, yeah, because they have their
you don't really show
they have
Sony
their
games. a lot.
PlayStation Showcase series. That they do about twice a year, 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah.
So God of War this year, yes, no.
Yeah. I still
I
think
think
it'll
so.
be this year.
They
I
actually,
think it's November.
they're
People
saying,
didn't talk. Yeah, people been talking about November or
directs.
whatever, but
You know, I don't. The state of plays. I feel like those are a little more. The leaks on those are a little more believable because Sony's prone to stuff leaking. But what leaked? What was the big leak? Oh, it was The Last of Us that leaked before.
Well,
I
I
didn't
know
believe
they-
it.
That
they
was like
should-
months ago, though.
Sony themselves. Well, technically it was rumored or talked about. Yeah, months ago, and I think
Yeah.
we have to look it up. But I think also, the Days Gone people were I think working on it or something. I forget.
That's
Yeah.
so left field. Is that a rumor or is it a leak? I feel like it's a leak because
which one.
At that point, it's a leak now.
Last of Us, like who was thinking that they were actually going to remake Last of Us?
Yeah.
That's somebody knew it and
Yeah.
told somebody. That's a
agree.
leak.
And that's been
Another-
for a while.
another thing that leaked, but it wasn't specifically Sony, is like and I think it was real. The full Street Fighter roster was leaked.
Oh, really?
Like somebody, one of the interns or whatever, from what I had, like actually leaked like the by actual accident, because I think the official Street Fighter people even like came up and apologized for
Oh.
leaking the whole
Wasn't
thing,
there a
but that they were
guy-
glad that there was such a positive response to it.
That intern is screwed.
Yeah,
Just
but I mean,
showcase-
like, this is the main thing that is weird about Street
Why you
Fighter.
letting
That
interns have that information?
Street Fighter 5 got so much shit because of its roster and stuff. I don't understand why you make like a better first impression announcing either way that the roster is going to be pretty big.
Yeah, you
from
should
the
just tell
get-go.
everybody anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't see the
'Cause that was a major
dial.
problem from 5.
Yeah, exactly. That was the biggest problem. Everybody was like, man, like I think it was both exclusive, and you had like fucking like 5 characters in the thing or some shit like that.
Dial looked awesome. Bro.
I didn't watch it yet. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, I don't. It's just,
Everybody's back.
it feels like the right way to do a 3D, 2D style game with full 3D like environments and characters. I don't know.
This is how Street Fighter should look.
Yeah,
I like how it looks.
It looks great.
It's just something about this that works for me. Whereas the Mortal Kombat 10, when I played, it didn't feel like Mortal Kombat anymore. This looks like Street Fighter,
Yep. This is glorious.
especially the setting on this aircraft carrier with the guys in the background. They got it right at this point. So
Now imagine Sonic with these graphics.
yeah, I mean, that's the other thing.
I think I would rather have that.
What
I
else?
didn't mean to bring up Sonic again. Sorry.
I saw there was another game I was thinking would be better in cell shaded or have an art style. I can't remember which one it was. There was a bunch of games. And I was thinking, man, this would look better with some kind of artistic style to it.
Look at those effects.
And I mean, this is what you want from like a next gen Street Fighter. You know, like that's.
Yep. Still has that cartoony, over the top aesthetic, but
On a PS4, but yeah.
still modern.
Well, I just meant it's new. Well, Street Fighter 5 was also on PS4, but I feel like
Yeah.
that was kind of rushed. I know that Sony helped pay for it, but I feel like they kind of got.
Isn't that bizarre? Yeah, it's still bizarre to me. Yeah, they
had
help
a
pay
decent
for it
art
and
style,
stuff.
too. I don't.
I like Street Fighter 5 art style personally.
But yeah. So, Jeff Keighley, the Callisto Protocol got an extended gameplay that looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
On Jeff Keighley's show?
Yeah, on
yeah, it
the
was
one
on
and
there.
only.
Yeah.
That dude.
And that's the only thing
The
I
main
watched.
thing.
I didn't watch, and then I caught the Last of Us trailer, and then
Which they also did it finally confirm, which again,
I-
talk about also rumored and leaked. I don't know how Sony, I guess, doesn't really, they get all their stuff talked about, but they had the whole factions multiplayer thing that they're making. Essentially, it's their new game, and it's going to be a based around, it's in the Last of Us world or whatever, but it's a multiplayer game.
Oh yeah.
And it's expanded to its own standalone game. Like it's so ambitious to the point where they're now, its own game. I don't know what they mean by that, but
it's like Fallout 76.
oh boy.
I'm sure it'll be good. It won't be like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it regardless because I do like my Naughty Dog stuff. But and then also
'Cause that was supposed to be-
Neil Druckmann did confirm he's also making a new game too. But to be fair, no shit. It's like, yeah, what is
Yeah,
Naughty Dog?
thanks.
That's it. They gave up. They're not making any more games. That's
The
it.
question will be which is it a new IP or
What kind of game is it?
bringing another? Uncharted?
Yeah, will it be part 3? Will it be Last
Is it
of
an
Us Part 3?
over-the-shoulder brooding, bearded person
I
fighting
would-
something?
I would bet money that it
Guns.
will be some cinematic, and I'm fine with, but
Do you,
that's what
do you
Naughty
think
Dog is.
Uncharted-
Naughty Dog used to be a lot more. They used to be.
I know that's especially ever since I played Jack and Daxter. I'm like, damn, I really love that game. I would love if they made something
Do you
more
think
like
they're
that.
gonna
Dax is
make
great.
a new Uncharted or not?
I feel it's
Well,
too big of
well,
a franchise to just let die. They're gonna do something with Uncharted still.
Yeah.
Didn't
Without
I don't
Amy
know.
Hennig, I don't know how.
Well, they already
know.
did it right with 4.
Well, barely.
And Lost
left
Legacy.
Lost.
She left while it was.
I did like
Oh,
Lost.
she
I mean,
did.
I do love Lost Legacy, so I have some hope.
Love Lost Legacy. Yeah, I will say that was good. But it didn't feel like a big Uncharted game though.
No.
It's still.
But that's why I liked it because
Which is fine. Which is fine. Yeah, it's fine for that.
It was
If you're gonna
technically
make an
just
Uncharted
DLC
game,
anyway.
it has to be a big kind of spectacle game, So
And I mean, I know somebody made a good point when I said this before. Like, for me, I have no attachment to Nathan Drake personally, so I could play.
I like
I could
Nathan
play as
Drake,
Sully. I could play as brother. I gladly played as Chloe. Like, I'd play as whatever his wife's. I forget her name now.
You play as Sully.
Why not?
I just have no. I have no attachment to Nathan Drake as the main character, as playing as. So I'd be happy to play as his daughter or whatever.
Oh yeah, you know I
whoever.
forgot that. Yeah, so maybe they'll do something like that.
Yeah, but
That's a
that
good
ain't
thing. And they have a
going-
lot
that ain't
of
Uncharted,
really-
bro. Nathan Drake is Uncharted. I'm sorry, but he is. It's
I
like
feel
taking
like
Master Chief out of Halo. Like,
Somebody
I
said
don't
that.
play
Would you
shit.
play Tomb Raider if it was whatever her like
Tara Croft?
Hawaiian? No, the dude that's with her.
Oh, the
in all
Hawaiian
games.
dude?
Yeah.
That's
That's
exciting.
I feel like I feel Uncharted could definitely work without Nathan Drake. Now, I really like him, but I mean, the great thing about the franchise, I feel, is you have so many strong characters that, like you have in Uncharted 2, you have all these thieves together, and they like all feel like they're main characters. It doesn't feel like they're side characters or anything. You could have a full game with like Chloe, I feel, and everybody be like, yeah, I'm still playing Uncharted.
Don't call that shit Uncharted.
Yo, have you watched the movie Retro? I feel like you would like the movie.
I haven't seen it yet, but I
think
want to
you like
see
it.
it.
I have no desire.
Man, that's something I have no desire for. I'm sorry.
I have
Robert,
a
if you
lot of
want to
desire
give
for
me the
that.
code, I'll watch it that way. But
No, I'm not gonna buy the Blu-ray now. I'm not gonna. I just saw it in the theaters. I enjoyed it, but it's not good enough to buy on
No,
Blu-ray
okay.
personally.
I have
know.
too much attachment to Nathan Drake, and what I know he should be. And I'm
Completely
sorry. I
miscast
like
him.
you.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, trust me, I was pretty worried
Well, the
about it, but
problem
when I
is they
saw, it, I was
waited
like,
so
"No,
long.
it was fun."
Well,
I enjoyed
the,
it.
the person they had to begin with, Mark Wahlberg's supposed to play him, but
Yeah.
they waited so long. He aged out of the shit, and they made him Sully.
But he still could have been it. If I mean, like when you watch the movie, like he literally is still
Well,
looks.
Nathan Fillion.
he doesn't look
so could
old,
Nathan
but-
Fillion. That's who should have been it.
Nathan
And
Fillion
they
10
can, like-
years ago should have been Nathan Drake. He already was Nathan Drake in the fucking Firefly series.
They
But
copied.
then,
They
but
copied
at the
his
same
character.
time, they're making it like Mark Wahlberg is like 70 years old. The guy literally is not like he's
No.
like
Like
he's
50.
he
Like,
clear,
you
there's
don't want
no
to start a
gray hair.
franchise with him.
There's nothing
It's-
there's no gray hair on his like the guy's fine. He could have just done
No,
it.
it's because they want to start a franchise. This is their start. They want to make a franchise out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to start with a 50-year-old, 55-year-old
Well,
dude.
it literally has a post credit scene, and it's like, okay, we're gonna try to do a sequel, which
Well,
it did really well. So I'm sure there will be a sequel.
I think the main problem isn't even that Mark Wahlberg is old. It's just Tom Holland is
You
like
think so?
100,000 times more popular. It just sells.
Yeah, and it's like
you know?
Tom Holland is like Spider-Man, so he's way
Yeah,
more
exactly.
That's my only
That's what
problem.
it is.
There's so often where I'm just like, this is Tom Holland.
But
Like,
he's
I just,
not.
like,
He's
Yeah,
not
but
Nathan Drake.
tough.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, because like half the people are gonna be like, who the fuck is Mark Wahlberg? Like people don't
No,
fucking know
come
Mark
on,
Wahlberg
the
anymore,
dude's
Like, come on.
huge
Wahlberg's
ass
pretty well
Transformers
known,
movies, bro. Like I didn't care for those Transformers
I mean,
movies, but they made
huge
billions
ass
of dollars.
Transformers movies. He was like in the fifth one or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Come on,
and
man.
they made $1 billion. That's not a joke. They made those were huge movies.
Anyway.
They were bad, but they sold.
All right, enough of the movie podcast.
I started watching Sonic 2, and I didn't have my system all set, but I just watched the first 10 minutes, and I'm just so over annoying, immature Sonic.
Damn, yeah.
I just can't. I like that guy. I like the person. I just don't like that version of Sonic, and it's like 10 times worse than the first movie. Just like they leave, and he's like partying and making this huge mess, and I'm just like, this is just for kids stuff. Like this annoys me. I don't want to see this. Like it's just a waste of screen time.
So you saying we kids? Cause we like it? You saying we kids?
I'm just saying it just felt like a waste of screen time. Like get on with the movie. But anyway, I didn't.
You know what's stupid? Just because you quickly said that. Like, I've only seen the first Sonic movie yet, but like in the beginning of this first Sonic movie, you see Sonic's world.
Mhm.
That's what Frontier should look like. You have actual loopings of the shit in there.
Mhm.
Well, we have like 30 Sonic games. We should know what his world looks like. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he
they're
even gives
doing.
her like a flower that looks straight out of the world. Like the sunflower thing. It looks straight out of the game. But anyway, Jeff Keighley, anything you want to talk about, Robert, since you watched it?
Well, I think did you watch? I know Retro did.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I watched
the
it because
the
you
Summer
guys were
Game
like
Fest
bitching
with Jeff
about it.
Keighley. Did you
No,
watch
I
it?
didn't watch it. I watched highlights from people
What a
talking about it.
guy.
I ain't watching
That
that
was
shit.
trash, man.
I wrote some down. I like to write them down, like games that I thought were pretty cool, which I just realized I didn't really write too many games.
Yeah, no shit.
Actually, there was I mean, well, to be fair, there was a lot of games that we've seen previously that I already know I'm going to get. But there was one called like Witchfire that I thought looked pretty dope.
See it, Donnie.
What
But
was it
then
called?
it's called Witchfire, and it's like
That sounds familiar.
let me see. It's kind of like it's a first person shooter game where we're like with the
Was that after the Doritos commercial?
it seems like you have like a lot of mobility and stuff, kind of little Doom-esque in terms of run, but like more like a you're outside and there's like a bunch of like not demons, but because it's not Doom like, but it's more medieval type setting. It looks pretty cool.
You know what?
Um,
Just thought of. Did Jeff Keighley and Kojima break up? Because
Yeah,
I
Kojima
know,
went
right?
to the Xbox
Crazy.
showcase instead.
yeah.
I'm sure they
I
get.
don't
I'm
even
sure
know
they get
why
a nice
they
piece of
brought him.
change.
Bro,
I know
that was
why.
an announcement. It was an
Based
announcement.
off
It was,
what? Death Stranding, man? Get the fuck out of here! Like,
based
what
on
has this
Death
guy
Stranding.
done?
No, based on Kojima, Metal Gear Solid, everything.
think
What
so?
you
Kojima
mean?
he's an iconic designer for the last couple decades.
But he hasn't even
Yeah.
started the game, so
Yeah,
it's
maybe
like,
last couple decades ago.
do you think they paid him money just to show up there and be part of their presentation, or are they like? I didn't.
Yeah, I think.
Is it like an exclusive
I think.
for Xbox? I didn't catch that.
It is
Yeah,
an
it's an
exclusive.
exclusive Xbox game. But you know, he did the same thing for Sony when he did
Yeah.
Death Stranding. He didn't
That's
have
what I
shit to
wanted to
show.
say.
He was just like, "We're making a game. See
Not
ya in
just that,
3, 5,
he's-
Well, they
4
showed like
years."
a baby.
He's like finally making
Yeah.
a game you always wanted to make. Bitch, you did that. It was Death Stranding. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well,
How
no,
could it
but
not be
now
Death
with
Stranding?
with cloud technology, which I don't know how that's gonna turn out.
Oh god.
You're gonna have the game he's always
The
wanted.
cloud thing, I
I
think,
heard
was
people saying
absolute
it's cloud
bullshit.
exclusive. It's not cloud
They-
exclusive.
No, it's
I think
using
no.
cloud
it's gonna be cloud
technology.
computing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That shit means
Not this
so
again.
nothing, but cloud is such an
Come here.
Xbox thing. They paid him to mention cloud. Like,
No,
I'm
no,
100 guaranteed.
no. So
It's not cloud
this
streaming.
this thing has been like, dude, another again. I don't know. Now I think about it, a lot of these Xbox, but this has also been rumored for like a year, maybe now, like a super long time.
Yeah,
And
they've
they've
been
talked about
rumored.
Kojima's working on an Xbox game that uses cloud technology.
Nobody
I mean,
believed
like
it, but
legit.
look.
That's been said for a while, and
At
I
least
didn't
a
know if
year.
it was
Is he
true or
working
not.
with the Crackdown 3 team on it?
Oh boy.
Oh
Come
no!
on, man.
Hold on,
Let's
so
move
isn't,
on.
am I wrong? Am I wrong, Juice? You correct me. The Flight Simulator uses like cloud technology, right? Or
Just for that, just pulls the textures are stored on.
well,
the
maybe,
cloud.
but yeah, maybe it does something like
Something
that. you
like
know?
that.
As long as it
Something
ain't
like that.
dependent on 10 cloud server
Yeah.
like
I don't think so.
places
Look,
to
man,
do
I
one
don't
building
trust
falling. I
Kojima,
think we'll
man.
be okay.
I think I understand why they did it because that was their Japanese block. That
Yeah.
he showed up in, right?
Which was like,
So-
what was it? It was. Hey, we're bringing
Persona.
Persona games that have existed for a while.
Persona was in there.
Also, we have a game with Kojima many years from now.
Wait,
I think that was it.
Are we
It was
talking
just
about
like,
Xbox now? Or are we still on? I think
I
we're sliding into.
I just want to
Might as
finalize
well.
by saying there's one. I'll give Naughty Dog one positive. At least you can say the name, and no one's gonna say, "Oh, which Last of Us?" So now you just say
The
Last of Us Part One, and you don't. There's no confusion. It doesn't.
Yeah.
If it was just called The Last of Us,
I am glad they did that.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm so
that's
sick
true.
of it.
That's true.
I don't
that's
like
true.
it that the Resident Evil games do that. Fucking.
So yeah, it's the
Oh, I
Last of Us.
hate that.
Last
I
Last
hate
was
that.
remastered
Well,
and
what
Last was
Resident
Part
Evil 2?
1.
What Resident
I hate
Evil?
when movies do that.
Oh, well, Halloween. There's 3 movies titled just Halloween. The original.
It's ridiculous.
There's the Rob Zombie one, and then there's the sequel to the
The
original.
2018 one or whatever.
That
It is
called-
ridiculous.
That's just so fucking stupid. Now Scream did it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I will never watch that movie. I'm
Why? Why are you doing
Not, so
that?
stupid. I hate it. So
dumb.
at least they put a part 1 on there, and it's not a part 1
Ghostbusters?
like fucking Final Fantasy 7 should say part 1.
Mhm.
It's just like, hey, this is part 1. Next game's part 2, and then I'm sure they'll do a part 3.
And to be fair, before the Xbox thing, there was also they had the whole
Devolver.
Day of the Devs and the Wholesome Direct, which I like both of them. It's a bunch of indie games, bunch of variety of titles. Very cool.
So many great indie games in there, man. I want to play
shit
like
ton
half
that
of
they
them. Yeah.
That I wrote down. That I admittedly did write down a lot, but I'm not
State
gonna
of Play
obviously.
show Final Fantasy 16 again too.
Oh yeah, showed Final, but actual game. Well, I guess they showed gameplay before, but this is like now they're showing like, oh, you're gonna be, I guess the summons or whatever. I don't know. And
Man, that Tinky Winky shit should not be on the E3 stage. Oh wait, it wasn't E3. It was Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, that was crazy. That people were complaining about the Xbox is cartoony. All the games look cartoony. I'm
crazy.
thinking.
I thought it was great.
I was thinking there was a little too many. Like, hey, we got an update to this game that's already out.
Yeah,
They could've
updates. That was what
stuff out.
bothered me.
Yeah,
Updates
I
and
agree,
DLC. Get that shit out the show. I don't want put that shit in the tweet. I don't want to see
Bro,
that shit
they
in no show.
always every year we always see
Sea
the
of
Elder
Thieves.
Scrolls Online
Elder
is
Scrolls
and,
Online.
and Sea of Thieves. Yeah, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Elder Scrolls Online is now 30 million players. All
But
Here's
we
the
have a
thing.
game
It
award
would be
for
one
best
thing.
ongoing game, though. So, like, if you have ongoing games,
No,
it's
I
like
know.
you
Fuck
I
the
show-
get-
trailer
like,
then.
look,
You don't need it.
I
Here's the
get
thing.
it, but like, goddamn.
I would
But
be
you have
fine with it.
the Elder Scrolls thing is like a whole new campaign, though. It's new shit to the game, though.
So,
I don't care. I don't care.
Bro, it's Elder
It would
Scrolls
be
Online.
fine. Here's
It's
the thing.
Fallout
Here's the thing.
76. It was Flight Simulator. It was Sea of Thieves. It was Halo Infinite. I think that was all. That was all that they
Forza's
showed. That
at
was.
least
All right, now
like
let me get to my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's my
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It would be fine if there was some evidence that talking about DLC for a game actually brought in new people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, those audiences are locked in. The Elder Scrolls Online, they're locked in. You're not going to get new people based on some DLC they don't give a shit about. They don't even understand. So that is for your ingrained audience, right? They already know. Give that shit to them and leave that shit off the stage. Let's move on to
Didn't they
more
do
important
that?
things.
What's
Because
that
they're
other
still good. They're going to
free-to-play?
buy that shit.
What's that free to play? We're in that like kind of like that futuristic suit. It's on Switch a couple years ago.
Warframe.
That was in one of them too. One of them.
Oh, that was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Warframe
what
was
was that?
in-
Which one was it? That was an Xbox.
I
Jeff
think that was
Keighley.
Xbox.
No, that was Jeff Keighley's thing.
Oh, no, it was
Oh, it was
Keighley's
Jeff
thing.
Keighley's
Yeah.
thing.
And then let them talk. I'm like, gee, if you know the game, you're playing it, you're excited. You don't, for everybody else, it's just like, who cares?
Nobody's going to jump into
You're gonna
Warframe
jump
12
in.
years later.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
also
but-
Grounded.
but
Remember, they also
the-
showed Grounded
got
again.
it.
If
Finally
you
coming
want to find the
No,
logic,
Grounded is fair. Because Grounded was just beta before. So it's fair to say, oh, well,
Yeah,
here's
'cause
the
it's
full
the
game.
full game.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. That was the one.
But it just,
thing
I
was cool
didn't,
with.
I honestly didn't realize how many, they did really, I guess, show off a lot of updates and stuff. I didn't realize that until
the
now
logic
talk about it.
behind that, though, like for example, Elder Scrolls, like, yeah, you have a massive Elder Scrolls audience, but they'll be tuning into this entire fucking show to see that. So you have people who don't really care about anything else but Elder Scrolls. You're making them watch this whole fucking show to get that
know.
update. That's more the point
If
of it.
they
I
knew
feel.
it was gonna be in there, maybe.
They ain't watching that shit.
Well, they
playing Elder
definitely
Scrolls.
know it's going to be there because it's every year. It's every year
They
they
don't
show
have
it.
time
So
to watch
Yeah.
no damn game shows. They're spending 20 hours a day in Elder Scrolls world. They don't care about that shit.
Yeah, the thing
I wish I could get into it because I'm sure I would like it, but
Elder
like,
Scrolls Online is not Elder Scrolls, man. It's
No,
the
it's
same
not?
thing.
It's not that
It's
good.
not the same
No.
thing.
really?
Combat's kinda weak.
I started playing
Really?
the Elder Scrolls Online in the beginning. I was like, man, this is so exciting. I'm gonna loot all this shit, and you walk to a table and you can't grab anything. It's like, wait, what is this? And it's
Yeah, this is
basically
not Elder
like
Scrolls.
an online kind of dungeon crawly kind of thing, whatever. And
Really?
shit.
Okay, I
It
didn't
doesn't
know.
play as an Elder Scrolls game at
It's
all.
more like
Okay.
EverQuest than it is Elder Scrolls.
and it's
Yeah,
like
really.
for
I
me,
just aged myself. I just dated myself when I'm bringing up EverQuest.
I always say the same thing, and this isn't officially an E3 show, but I just don't. For me, it adds no value announcing old games coming to your platform. For some people, maybe the Persona announcement's big. I feel like everyone who cares about Persona's played Persona.
Even if you can play them portably, Juice.
Well,
You can play them on the go now or in
Yeah,
bed
but it's
or
like, for me,
relaxing.
I know everybody's different. That adds no value to the point. It almost is a detriment to shows. Like, there was a Nintendo Direct where there was like 5 or 6 of the games were just like, oh, play this game on Switch now. And it's like, for me, that doesn't add any value to a big showcase like this. Like, put that trailer on your fucking YouTube channel. To me, that doesn't add anything. Like, so that stuff just
it just
nothing.
something
for me.
like Persona is pretty big for people, so it was. I know that was definitely a
but
highlight.
people
for a lot of
like
That was pretty
Persona.
big because people wanted, or they just wanted it to be pulled out of Sony's clutches. Like
Yeah.
now, there's a chance it could be on Nintendo. Like that's what people want. So I get that.
Especially the fact that it's Persona 5 Royal, like actually coming out to every other platform. They're like, oh shit, okay. And same thing with like Persona 3 Portable. Like, I'm sure that game is super expensive, you know.
Oh, it's stupid expensive.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay.
To see the actual Xbox fans' reaction.
But they don't
Persona.
No, they're not gonna care. But it's on Game Pass though. It's in Game Pass.
You just can try it. I mean, you can try it.
But that's a play at new audience. That's not a play at Xbox guys. That's a play at new audience. Maybe more Japanese gamer. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're getting games that I like to play on this box. Maybe I'll get it. And it's actually selling pretty decent in Japan.
For me,
but that's the thing, though. Like
a showcase like that.
That's the thing. Because like I feel like I have a very different opinion than everybody else, and I'm like the resident like Xbox hater always. These shows always bore the shit out of me. Like I thought this show was fucking incredible. Because like I know what you guys are saying, like, oh, it's all this, all that, but like one of the complaints we've had for like years is Xbox does fucking nothing in Japan, and now they had a whole section. They're bringing over all these Persona games. They're bringing over Kojima to as a new game. They have like Koei Tecmo in there for a new game. They had a big ass section dedicated to Japanese. Maybe it's not for us, but that's something that we've always had as a complaint, and they added it in there.
I wouldn't consider that a big ass section. That Koei Tecmo game is going to come on their platform regardless, no matter what.
Japanese shit, though.
It's a new game.
That Koei Tecmo was going to come on their platform regardless. And also, like, the Persona game is cool. That's big. But, yeah, it's a multi-platform game. Like, the Koei Tecmo game.
That was a new game. There's no...
Yeah, but the multi-platform thing, Robert, that's the thing. Xbox hasn't had multi-platform Japanese games in, like, fucking years at this point. They've been completely dropped out. That's why it was kind of a big thing, I feel. And, like, yeah, they're bringing maybe back all these updates, like you guys saying, all the DLC shit. But, like, I saw a show that from the start...
I feel like it would be, but maybe not.
This show from the start had like no CGI trailers. Everything was gameplay. They showed updates on old shit that they hadn't shown gameplay of before. They showed like a bunch of new games. Yeah. They showed like adult shooters. They showed like Tinky Winky games. You know, you had fucking everything in this Xbox game that I complained that we never have before. I thought it was a fucking incredible show.
To point out, they had a couple big showings of Bethesda games, so you know that definitely factors in for you.
Well,
there was a ton of games. You're right. My problem is, man, the pacing was horrible. I was just so bored in the middle of that.
I was glad I watched it later because I have obviously you can see like in the little.
They weren't shown very. Some of the games weren't shown very well. Like that was good to have new announcements.
Scorn had like one of the worst.
Scorn was not shown well at all.
Like, I was actually really hard from Scorn because I feel like it finally showed kind of what it was going to be.
Kind of, but...
Really? There was better trailers before.
I only saw the original trailer before. I didn't know there
was playing like a beta version, and there's on YouTube, I thought I saw gameplay of that game like last year.
The thing that I hated most was just the whole Forza thing. That just dragged on, you know, like I don't care about Forza. I don't care
honestly,
we need a trailer for Hot Wheels.
I thought
Hot Wheels need a trailer.
I know, but honestly, that Hot Wheels thing looks awesome.
Looks cool.
Yeah, look, you know what? It looked awesome in Forza Horizon 4 as well.
Yeah.
So what?
Those games are very samey, and that's
the whole thing when they talk about the dynamic weather, 4K ray tracing shit on the pavement and shit. You got like the camera fucking zooming in on the goddamn like cement and shit. You know, like that. Just
see, I found that more interesting than the 10 minutes of Redfall shit. Like I could care less about.
I don't give a shit.
I disagree with you on the Redfall.
I don't give a shit about Redfall either, but they showed gameplay of something that they hadn't shown gameplay from before, and that's what I mean, though.
Just look to me.
And I found it very interesting.
But like, okay, again, I'm different, you know. On top of like all that shit, there were like literally 4 games in there that like blew me fucking away. The what do you call the last case of Benedict Fox, for example? Like, holy fucking shit. That is
the best space shooter I've ever seen. This is the best space shooter ever. Oh wait, that was Starlink. Remember?
No, the Starlink. If you want to drag up the that is a whole different discussion. But I still stand by it. No, the thing I said about Starlink is the fact that we never had like a decent 3D shooter anymore. We didn't get shooters anymore back then. And Starlink was that. Like, I stand by that. I don't know why that's a big
The cool
problem.
part
I
about
never
Starlink-
went back on my word on that at all.
But you said it
ever.
was like the greatest like space shooter, but then you didn't. I don't think you ever played it after that. It seemed like you never played it after
I
that.
have like 25 hours in a game
Oh,
so
do
far.
you?
I'm still playing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still playing that. I don't know what you guys always think that I'm
No,
not
3
playing
years
that
ago
game.
you said it was the greatest space shooter.
No, I
ever
know you've
made.
been playing it since, but around the time I made fun of you because around the time you hadn't really played it. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's just an ongoing joke.
I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 like 2
don't
weeks
take it-
ago.
don't
Like,
take
I mean,
Because Starlink came
We're
out
like-
like 2018.
I can't hate on that because
That's
it took me a long time to do Xenoblade Chronicles X.
So for me, the Silksong was the best part of the entire Xbox. That game looks so fucking good. Shame on UT for not playing Hollow Knight.
I know.
You
It's
got
sitting
you,
the
there.
fucking Steam Deck.
you bitch about me about Starlink. You
I
haven't
know,
played
I'm-
fucking Hollow Knight yet?
But I'm not the one sitting around.
Wait,
Oh my
no, you
god,
didn't-
Hollow Knight's the
no,
greatest
you-
game of all time. I haven't
You
done
didn't
that.
play.
Get on
you
your
didn't
damn
play
Steam
it.
Deck and play the damn thing.
I'm gonna get it on Steam. I'm gonna get it on Steam Deck.
Because
That's where I'll
that
play it.
game, they've taken the. It looks like they've taken the combat and gameplay to the next level. I mean, that's some. That
I was
looks
gonna
like,
say that combat looks fucking awesome in that.
And I hate to bring up some bad memories from last year or some controversy. Me and T weren't that blown away the first time we saw Dread, and it just wasn't what they showed. It didn't wow me. The game turned out great, but that Silksong trailer, that's the shit that I'm like, my God, what can you say negative about? That looks fantastic, fast, fluid, a lot of variety, looks stunning. God, that game. Who knows when it's coming out, but it looks incredible.
That was a brilliant move. I'm pretty sure they paid the money to get that trailer because every fucking Nintendo Direct for the last 5 years, Silksong is trending.
Right.
For Xbox to get that Silksong trailer, that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, because
So there's
again, it
two
was
things that
variety.
Nintendo fans wanted that Xbox took away,
yeah.
which is Persona, and then
Yeah,
Silksong. I was like, God, that's
Because
fucked up.
I
bro.
told you guys I stopped watching indie directs after a year of being disappointed because Silksong wasn't there, and somebody called me out on it. I'm like, that's the honest truth. I'm just like, fuck it. That's the only reason I'm watching these, and I just gave up, and I'm glad I did because, finally get shown.
Well, they also showed the Plague Tale Requiem, which I
yeah,
know you.
I don't know if it was the stream. It was what I was watching. It was a live stream, but it was a rewind of it or the upload. It wasn't like a direct feed gameplay. And I was like, man, that looks kind of stuttery and shit. Like, I don't know. That was just the stream.
Well, it might have been just because I didn't see any stutters for. I didn't see
The
any
game
stutters
does
for
look
that.
good. Obviously, it's a multi-plat, and I'll be probably picking it up. I don't know. But I'm intrigued. It looks like they added to the combat. Before, you couldn't stealth kill anybody. You couldn't shoot anybody. All you had was your sling to distract people or to hit them. And now you can actually kill people, which hopefully the stealth... Because the stealth was cool with the rats. I don't know if anybody played it or saw that gameplay. Like, the puzzles involving how to get through the swarms was pretty cool. It was simple at times, but it still was a really cool mechanic.
Like, there was a lot of variety.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
Really
showing
solid.
of games. That was great. But I think they killed it, again, like I'm saying, with the pacing. They need to find a fucking editor at Microsoft, because all the stuff that I got excited about, I went into these lulls right after that. And I'm like... And then I forgot a lot of the stuff that I was looking forward to.
If you're not interested in a game, and then they go from the trailer or gameplay that didn't excite you to them talking about it for 2-3 minutes, it doesn't matter.
Check out.
You're just like, really? Like, this information you're telling me is not, like, crucial, doesn't add to excitement. It's just like the Forza Motorsport stuff, like showing, like Retro said, showing the grass and that. Just show me racing, show me beautiful environments, and that's all you need to do. Get people excited. I mean, I prefer
It was also like an hour and a half. I don't think it needs to be an hour and a half.
You know what's funny? I was complaining on Twitter. I think Shadowfox, he was like, man, like the show was garbage. I was like, what was garbage? What more did you want? Like Halo 7? He's like, no, I want to see like Hellblade 2. I'm like, you ain't getting fucking Hellblade 2. He's like, yeah, like they should have shown this other shit and the show should have been longer. Like an hour and a half. Like that was like hard.
Longer.
Longer?
But I also
Yeah, exactly.
I really appreciate that they said that you're going to be playing these games in the next 12 months.
That's another thing.
whether
Yeah,
they keep
believe
that
it when
or not,
yeah
we'll
when
believe
those
it.
games come
But
out. But
especially, I think the biggest failure is like the fact that Redfall supposedly was supposed to come out in a few months from now, and then all of a sudden they still don't have a release date. What? And the same thing with Starfield. It was like, oh, we date
Well, I
in
think
11/11, blah
I
blah blah,
think
and now there's no
they
release
feel
date.
we ain't gonna put no date out there. We already screwed the pooch on that
well,
shit.
you're gonna say the next 12 months. You're kind of already locking into.
Well, yeah, but you still have. I mean, if the game was about to come out or supposed to come out in fucking summer, I would
Yeah.
hope they'd get that bitch done in the next 12 months.
Right.
I hope you feel confident about
Well,
that.
Halo
Because
Infinite,
if you don't,
they didn't.
you're completely screwed.
Yeah, but like
uh,
that's another thing. Like we always complain about Xbox. We don't know this. We don't know that. They literally said like almost everything in the show is 2022 and 2023. Like that might seem like it's a fucking year away, but like look at all the fucking shit they showed that's just gonna come within basically
It's
the
not
next
only
year.
It's kind of weird for
by
people to
June of
complain as
next year.
well.
That's big.
Oh, they only showed what's coming in the next 12 months. I'm like, isn't that a good thing? Don't you?
Yeah, it's a really
is a
good
good
thing.
The problem has
Yeah.
been they showed shit
Yeah.
2 years ago that we still don't have. Like, isn't that a problem?
the problem
So,
is, yeah,
I'm
they
cool
showed.
with that.
They announced Avowed and State of Decay 3 and Fable.
And you know,
And
and
those
you know
aren't
what?
coming
Everwild,
out
man.
next
With
year, I don't
Everwild.
think any of
and
them.
that's the big problem because everybody went into this fucking show. Oh, they gotta be showing Avowed. They gotta be showing this because they showed them 2 years ago, and now people think people were underwhelmed by that, so their expectations were high. I understand that you're going with really high expectations because of what
I
they showed
expected to
2
see
years
at least
ago,
Fable.
and then
But I mean, I already told you, you ain't seen
I expected at
Fable.
least
You ain't
one
seen Fable
goddamn
for
game.
several years. I already said that before. I don't know what people are expecting. And who's really waiting for State
You
of
say that about
Decay?
every game, though.
Who's really waiting for State of Decay? Yeah, and so far, I think,
You
like,
realize that, right?
have you seen Prime 4 yet? We're
It's-
almost at
it's just the
2023. That's the
principle
year
that-
that I was saying. I said the earliest you're going to see Prime 4 is 2023. Are we? We still
So you
haven't
said that
seen
when they
it.
showed
So-
the logo. You said that.
Yeah, exactly. When they showed the original logo, I told you 2023 at the earliest. Like I've said
No
it
way
before.
did you say in 2017
Yeah,
you thought
that's what I
you
said.
thought it was
here's
gonna
the
be
problem.
shown until
It's going to be
6
like
years
years
later?
away.
Here's the problem with that logic. Had they went through with the development, that game probably be out by now.
What
Yeah.
about-
They were
unless you
already
have
going
some-
through those
Unless
problems
you
back
have some
then.
magic crystal ball to where like, oh, I know that game's gonna go into development hell, which is
I
bullshit.
don't know, but that's what I'm saying because I have no facts.
you
but
got
I'm saying you
lucky
probably
on
won't
that
see
one.
that for a while.
You got
I'm not
lucky
Lucky,
because
that's
No,
just based on everything that was going on.
That
send
game
us
would've been
something
out.
that says
You see
that
one
you said
fucking
2023
logo.
and 2017.
He's been saying it
yo.
for the last
You
2
see
years.
one logo. People think next E3 you're going to see like a fucking trailer. You're not going to
That's
fucking
what
see
you
a trailer
expect
after that.
normally.
And that's the same with Fable 3. I don't know what people are saying. You're going to see Fable 3 next when you know how big
Fable
Fable
like
3 is.
four,
Dude,
bro.
it's
If
been-
you
Fable
have
3
that
came
much
out
to show,
2011.
like,
It's been
wow.
2 years since they announced it. Most games you get gameplay within 2 years after the announcement. That's just
I
normal.
don't know. That not always, and it depends on the type of game and shit.
No,
Plus,
most-
like I said,
most.
who the fuck is waiting on State of Decay like 3 with all this shit that has been happening with State of Decay? I don't understand what
So
people
how
are
long
waiting
do you
for this
think we
shit.
waited
granted,
from
2 years ago was 2020, which is
How long do you think we waited
COVID-19. You know?
from Zelda U
So-
reveal till Breath of the Wild launched? In your mind, what's the time frame?
Well, that depends what you mean with the review of
The
Zelda. You mean
E3
the very
reveal
first
of
Breath of
Zelda
the
U.
Wild?
the actual reveal of the
To
game.
the launch of Breath of the Wild, everybody said was forever, was 2.5 years. From
Yeah,
the
it
game
wasn't-
coming
But
out.
I never made
to
that.
the teaser. So you think it's ridiculous for people to see gameplay of a game just to see gameplay of a game 2 years after they announced it? That's
I don't think it's ridiculous in these specific cases. You know, when
When
it
did
comes
we-
to something like Fable,
When did they
Metroid
announce
Prime 4.
Mario Odyssey, and when did we start playing that bitch?
I know that
within the
sometimes they
same
announce
year.
a game and it
6
comes
months?
out really soon.
I will say retro
often
though.
when you have something like that, you get bigger trailers than a logo.
I will say, I made a video about this, or 2 videos. When I rewatched the Xbox original showcase in, what was it? I think it was like August of 2020 or July. I noticed that the big titles, the Avoweds, the Fables, Forza Motorsports, didn't say Xbox One. They just said Series S and X. The other games said Xbox One. So I had a theory, because Microsoft said they're doing cross-gen for at least 2 years, or for 2 years. I said that those games are more than 2 years away from coming out, not from being shown. And then I made a video not long after that about how Sony and Xbox swapped strategies because Sony started announcing all this cross-gen stuff, and then Xbox didn't change their mind on any of those games, which still we haven't even seen other than Hellblade we saw last year, but that's not coming to Xbox One. And I was like, man, they actually swapped strategies real low key, and no one's talking about this. I'm like, Sony's going all in with the cross gen, and this was in 2020, and Xbox seems like they're trying to move on to the next gen. So that seemed to kind of come to fruition. But I didn't think any of those games were coming out. I just expected to see at least a couple of them gameplay by now. Maybe come out next year.
I don't think there's anything wrong with expecting, because some of these games are from studios that Microsoft didn't own. They had been working on these games, you would think, years before Microsoft bought them. And I'm like, so can we see something? Like, something.
I was thinking that I tweeted out that it was so cool. I went to the Bethesda E3, whatever. This was 4 years ago. They announced Elder Scrolls 6 4 years ago.
But what happened? What they show? Some bullshit ass CGI graphic.
You did say that
you can't show something after 4 years. That's crazy.
I gotta give Retro credit. He said that year that game ain't coming out for like 6+ years.
Yeah, like
because we know Bethesda does that shit.
Well, that's not just Bethesda does that. That's based off the scale of the Elder Scrolls games and the generation we're in now. If you show me a logo, you're making Elder Scrolls game, bitch. That's not you ain't seeing that shit like
this mentality, because Bethesda.
Scale my ass, okay? Scale it. They didn't even start on that fucking game when they showed that shit. No, that's the problem.
Starfield is the game they were working on. So they announced Starfield that same year, right?
Yeah.
Robert?
Yeah, that same year.
Yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be big, but they hadn't even touched that game when they made that graphic.
So this is why Retro has this mentality.
And that's the same that happened with like Metroid and shit, Like you have all these things coming out. Like, this and that, and have your logo, and then, we're making it, having problems. Every fucking week after Metroid Prime was announced, they were looking for new people, and then they stopped looking for people. Then they just completely scrapped the game.
But you didn't know that when they
studio. It's like
you didn't know that when they fucking made it. You didn't know that when they showed the logo. Here's the thing about I don't like Metroid being put in this because we hadn't had a fucking Metroid game in how long? So I understand them wanting to reassure fans that you're gonna get another Metroid. I'm fine with that. And the only problem with Metroid is that they gave it to the wrong studio. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't do it. That was the only problem. That game would be out by now. I guarantee you that game would be out. They just wasted fucking, a year and a half, and then fucking COVID hits, and that just threw everything off. So I don't think it's fair to throw Metroid Prime into that group because.
But it is, and I've still been right so far. You gotta get mad.
Again, you're only right because they screwed up.
You're only right because of that. I said it since day one, though. Like
you were right for the wrong reason because you didn't.
But how many times are you wrong? Let's go to the list. How many times are you wrong? Is it more than you're right?
I don't know. Give me an example. Are we going to Emily Rogers this shit? Tell me like when I was wrong.
Mario Kart 9.
You're like the rumor guys. They get all the fucking credit in the world when they get one or two things right. But they have 20 things they got wrong, and nobody gives them shit about that.
Also, like the Mario Kart 9 shit, damn well if they made no fucking DLC for like a 10-year-old game that we'd be having Mario Kart 9 right fucking now.
I told people that a long time ago.
I said
you're only right because there's DLC.
No.
See, I can play the same game.
But that was an educated.
Because my argument still stands.
Educated guess nobody fucking saw DLC for Mario Kart 8 come 10 years after the game fucking released. Like no,
but my argument still stands. And why I based it on was the sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that hasn't changed. So nothing changed. The sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are still the biggest reason.
That's why you got no Mario Kart 9.
Because of those sales, now they're trying to add to those sales by adding paid DLC to try to even make more money off those sales. So it's all related to the sales of Deluxe. That's the only reason 9 isn't out and won't be out this generation.
That fucking cheap ass DLC, cheap ass tracks.
Man, that DLC is incredible, man. I really hope we get a trailer this week.
How long has it been since you got the first 8 tracks? It's been like
3 months. I calculated you're going to get probably every 3 or 4 months, you're going to get the next wave.
That's why I wasn't, even if I had the game, I still wasn't going to support it because.
But I'm still playing. Well, for me, it's different. Like I'm still playing it like almost every day and shit. Yeah, so
8 tracks is going to wear thin pretty quick. If it was 16 or 32.
I'm still excited playing those new tracks now, and it's been a few months already.
I
Yeah, but
can't
you
trust
play it all the
Nintendo
time.
sports games anymore. So,
So let's talk about Starfield. Then we can get into some of the Mario Strikers stuff, which seems to be the same old with the Switch and these sports games. But so Starfield, who is excited for Starfield after the gameplay?
I'm looking.
Okay.
It's literally exactly what they said. What I expected at least. You're gonna get the Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and space, and that's exactly
yeah,
what it
it
is.
was actually one of the few games that it met my expectation as far as what they've shown so far, what they talk about.
Yeah, same, pretty much.
So
I
they
was
should
like,
I mean, that doesn't
I was
happen.
like, Fallout in space.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I can't wait to just build the ship and like just have that like leveling up and like the stuff and like the stories and
We do
shit.
that in
Like,
No Man's Sky, man. It's the same
man,
thing.
I hate it when people say it's such a stupid thing to say, man.
It does have some similarities. Someone put a comparison together, and there's.
But you know, I could put up
No
a
Man's Sky
comparison.
is procedurally generated, and it's literally a nothing over and over. You can compare that to like.
I could put up a
Do you think
comparison
Starfield's got
of
1,000
Uncharted.
unique planets that they made?
Of course
No,
not.
of course not.
Yeah, so it's.
You think every cave in Skyrim has something useful in it? Like, no.
So, I'm sure that they have. You're not gonna just randomly every time you play. It's not gonna be different. That part of it's not the same. But
exactly.
I mean, the worlds are they're probably gonna be planets that are just gonna be unique. For your playthrough.
Yeah, you have that main solar system. That's where all your story shit's gonna happen, and then you can mess around in the rest of the galaxies or whatever. So, I'm cool with that.
So
Yeah,
I'll be the odd man out here. I there's really nothing about what I saw that made me interested at all.
But you don't play.
It just feels like Alien, man. The way the tech looks, it just makes me feel of Alien.
And
like
it's for me, it suffered from that. Let's walk super slow. I know they're showing it for the first time. People got to take it in. It's any game that does that though. It's like, come on, But they eventually got into more actual gameplay, so it wasn't that the whole time. I mean, I like how it looks. I like the.
I can't even believe how good it looks.
It does definitely play choppy,
it's actually it's better looking than I thought it would be because I feel like Bethesda's always kind of behind.
Yeah,
when it comes to this.
I was really surprised how good it looks.
I noticed. I don't know if it's obviously not coming out this year, but it definitely seemed to have some kind of stuttering going on. I thought it was the stream, but this is also doing it. But
how many times do we watch this show where, man, look at that frame rate? We see that shit all the time in these because these are earlier builds of games or non-complete builds. So that doesn't worry me. Maybe it should worry me a little bit more with Bethesda, but it doesn't worry me too much right now.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, oh my god, that was horrible, but it just, I don't know, for me it's like, okay, well, let's see what it looks like next time. Kind of like with Cyberpunk. I was like,
I just can't wait to just have your ship, get it, because you know what it also reminds me of? Skies of Arcadia, you get your ship, you customize your ship, you get a crew together and shit, and you just fly off and you discover shit, and that's literally all I need from it.
Here, though. That little
I will say when I saw the
but that's just like Elder Scrolls shit, you gotta collect shit,
but
like
the
make
laser
shit and
is
build
legit,
shit.
But the laser with
identical.
the miner, yeah.
But obviously that's where the similarities pretty much end.
Like the shooting and stuff.
Like I know people like, but you have not like NPCs, but you have like NPCs. You could talk to people of course it's gonna be like, oh, there's planets with creatures on them. Yeah,
it's
space,
a space game where you fly around. Yeah, there's gonna be similarity. I mean, come on.
Similarities like that.
Like I was surprised. I wonder if it's actually gonna look this good.
It made me think of like Alien Isolation. If we were to be like, okay, let's compare Call of Duty and Battlefield. Let's see how close they are. It's like that. It's like you're in the same genre, which is a space shooter exploration.
A
lot of that was just like, fanboy bullshit. A lot of the stuff.
The shooting looks competent. I'm gonna say it looks better than Cyberpunk, which I don't know.
I heard people complain about the shooting. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, this looks good. Again, I really liked Fallout 4 a lot. So like,
there's a lot of Fallout 4 in this.
I'm looking forward to it. And I like that whole little. I mean, maybe that'd be a little annoying the Digipics, but it looks like
I like that kind of stuff. Like when games.
No, I usually don't. I usually like those types of
but they use it a lot. There's like in Bioshock with the fucking pipes you're connecting. They scrap that for the any other game after that because I was like, come on.
Or like in
But I feel like-
Spider-Man,
Oh yeah,
They
have
Spider-Man
those-
was. Oh my god.
they have those random things, and then if you wait
So
like
bad.
30 seconds, they let you skip it. You're like, wait, what? Why do you even have this then?
What?
Like,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah, if I could
it's
just
just
skip it.
very like Star Trek. This shit. I get like the Fed, like that have basically the Federation planet later and stuff.
I
Man.
love
It
that.
just
Look,
looks
you're flying and you're-
involved.
Yeah, I like the whole, like you said, it's
Gliding.
NASA punk. I like that. I like.
I was surprised
that
to see
it's-
so much emphasis on first-person shooting, even though I shouldn't, because Fallout's like that.
Yeah, it's it's very very shooter heavy.
He's wearing the same coat last time they revealed the game, wasn't he?
I think that he wears the literal same coat every single year.
I think so too.
That's literally his coat. That's just what he wears. But like, look at this. This looks dope. This whole new Atlantis.
This doesn't.
I'm
Look,
sure it's gonna be
I
a
don't
beefy
know.
area. That kind of reminds me of Cyberpunk.
It just looks like that's gonna sound dumb, but this looks like the future, like the way people predicted it would look like 20 years ago. Like what we would be living now. This shit.
This reminds
looks
me
weird.
of. I don't know why that reminded me of Fallout, even though it doesn't look like Fallout. Just the way that robot was walking, and
No, it definitely reminds me of Fallout. I think so.
so I mean,
And of course, since it's Bethesda, when it comes to character animation
Yeah, they
stuff,
look
they're never
very,
the best.
this looks very.
the little
behind the
stiff-
times.
The
they talk
eyes
like
are
this.
always dead.
I think it looks better than it usually does.
Yeah.
No, it's better than
that's
it
for
usually
sure,
does,
but
but,
that's-
but
It's like
it's
saying
not-
like Pokemon finally looks decent.
Yeah. Again, I am surprised though, like how visually stunning it looks, because
Yeah.
like especially
It
the
does
world
look
stuff,
good.
because like usually like I just feel like they're always behind when it comes to stuff like that. But
Because they use that engine, I think, just a little longer.
I think honestly, I would almost
Yeah,
guarantee
this-
you it was if it was before Microsoft, it wouldn't be as crazy. I'm sure they beefed it up a bit, maybe.
Because that,
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
facial animations look almost as bad as the first Horizon game. Some of
Horizon. I
those.
was thinking Horizon when I saw that. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Horizon and shit.
So
That's rare. People do faces, right? It's always the
I have no
eyes.
doubt the people that like these types of
Naughty
games, that's
Dog
going to be
was
great for
fantastic.
them.
I'm
me
gonna live in this
personally,
fucking world.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the standouts for me, because it reminds me of a game I really like, a couple games actually, was this Flintlock.
Flintlock looked dope.
I like the High on Life, yeah, where it's
It
very
reminded
fun.
me. I gotta rewatch this because I can't remember. I was getting vibes from like. First of all, I was thinking Forspoken in a few spots, which hasn't come out yet, but it looks better than Forspoken to me.
Damn it.
And it just reminded me
I was
of
thinking
like.
Forspoken too.
This reminds
It
me
was just
almost
'cause
like
the
it
black
almost has like
character.
Dark Souls or Elden Ring style, maybe combat like dodging. I think that's.
I was thinking God of War-ish.
Let me watch this again because it's.
I feel the combat seemed a bit like empty still. This I
It
would have
does
liked
look a
to see
little
more.
like stiff.
Well, I'm guessing this is a AA game, not a AAA. So
But it stood out as one of the standouts.
yeah, but a lot of people forgot about
Where's
it.
the
I think.
gameplay? I know there was a gameplay of
This
it.
must be.
in
Oh,
the
this is
in the Sea of
announcement.
Thieves, there was so much stuff. People
Yeah.
just kind of forgot about this
Where's
game.
the
I think
gameplay?
I had forgotten
When
about
was
it.
this announced? Like I said, 82,000 views. That was announced a while ago. There's
This was
2 months ago. Really? I had no clue that was even announced.
Alright,
Sorry,
look at
here's
that.
the gameplay. Sorry.
I had no clue that was announced.
It's a commercial.
Oh,
Oh god.
fucking Jurassic World's
Jurassic
out. I didn't even know
World
that
Dominion.
came out.
Oh yeah, it came out and it did really well first weekend,
Did
but
it?
Yeah,
it got trashed by
Jeremy
critics.
Johns
Trash.
basically said it's. Like
I think
two
it got. I
terrible
think it has a
movies.
30 Rotten Tomatoes or something. 30.
I mean, I don't think any of the Jurassic World movies are that good.
No.
Personally.
None of the Jurassic Park
I
movies are
enjoyed
good
it.
except for the first
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
That's just a fact.
I don't know why you can't get. It's a simple concept. It seems like. Could be,
Well, great. I'll say great. None of them are great except for the.
Yeah, just like this does remind me of Forspoken a lot. And a little bit of the combat's a little stiff, I guess, looking.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think it's more slow. That's why it kind of does look God of War esque to me, like in terms of-
Yeah, that's why I said God of War.
or even kind of. Now I see her moving to kind of Assassin's Creed esque.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
a little Assassin's Creed in there too. Yeah.
unique world
I see
though.
that.
I feel the character looks a bit dull, but I like all the stuff like the combination with like the
I think
creature
main
and
character's
stuff.
Got a good design.
Yeah, I'm not in love with the character model.
I think that
Like all
I
that
like the
stuff.
whole.
Like,
Yeah,
that
look
could
at
be
that. That's
fun.
cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, it
cool.
looks
It
good.
might
I
not
think it
be
looks good.
amazing, but it looks like it intrigued me to see more. That's basically.
Yeah, no, I
That's-
mean,
What was that? Benedict? What was that one called?
it looks like there's some mobility though,
The
like
last case of Benedict
jumping
Fox,
and then
man.
also kind of exploding and like seems like there could be some
Yeah, I like
cool
the
mobility.
movement with the whole flight thing she does with the little creature.
It was
That was
weird
pretty
that
cool.
there was two games that were like something lock. What was the other?
Yeah,
The last,
it was
oh,
also
the,
Ravenlock.
Yeah,
Ravenlock. That was my second one that I'm really excited for. I feel nobody
Eh.
talks about it.
I
That
think it
looks
looks
so cool
Is
to
that
me.
the one that was
stuff.
kind of voxely at some
That's like
time?
the
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah,
HDTV.
it
some
I
of the
thought-
characters were like voxely and shit.
I was
but like, look
confused.
at,
Yeah, I
that
think
stuff
the
looks
art
so
is
good.
confusing to me. I'm confused by its art.
Cannot wait for that one.
I
That's
don't know, I thought it
my
looked
number
really
2 of the
cool.
show.
Like
Yeah,
that-
I
It's
thought it
just-
was
I don't-
pretty
it didn't
cool.
mesh
A
well for me.
combination of
Really? I
like
started
off
to me
voxel
like this
cool.
is like I said. This
That
looks
looks
like
cool.
the evolution.
I
of
thought it was going to be
HDTV.
fucking Bell and Wonderworld sequel when I
I
saw
didn't think
this,
it was
though.
HC2D because like games like that
Yeah,
already
it's
Wonderworld
exist.
sequel.
I can't wait for this one, man. This was my
It's
number
just a
2. This
unique,
looks so good.
definitely a unique look though.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
But then it has these voxel.
Yeah, it's mostly like the
and then it
characters in
goes
the
into,
world and
like,
stuff. Yeah.
But if
more
you look
realistic,
closely,
like,
there's that voxel. There's a lot of
boss battle.
voxel going on in like the foliage and stuff too.
But it's very specific. It has
Oh,
to
did
do
you see that? It
something
looked like
with the game.
Returnal for a second there. Yo, all the
Like
the-
this shit to
the
me, like,
boss
that's a
fight.
cool way to use that art, like that technology. In my opinion,
Absolutely
It's
cannot
interesting.
wait
I
for
would
Might
say
not
that.
be a
interesting.
game that I love, but I thought it looked really cool. And since
See,
we're
like that
speaking
creature,
of,
it's not voxel at all.
Yeah, I will say that also, you know how they own Obsidian? They seem to be a pretty competent studio. The fact that they're essentially apparently working on Avowed,
That shit
Outer
looks
Worlds
great.
2, Grounded, and that whole Pentiment game, which it is cool because it looks like Pentiment at least like it's a smaller scale game. That's like the whole like narrative game that's kind of like hand drawn almost, and it's like
Mhm.
takes place in like older time. I really appreciate that, and I hope they make let Microsoft make more smaller budget games because clearly that's not going to take nearly as long to make. We need
I
some more
think
of that.
everybody should make more. Everybody's all, I want the big AAA games. Them games take 4 or 5 years
Mhm.
at the minimum.
well,
Like
Silksong takes 4
we
or
gotta-
5 years. So
we need.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
got like
true.
2 guys though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just hope
we
that
need AA again. It's good to have AA games.
I hope this supports HDR and hopefully
That's why
Oh,
frame rate.
single A.
That's why that, and also there was that As Dusk narrative type game, and I do they own that studio? I have to look that up. I'm not too sure, because again, that would be cool if they do, because then at least again they're
Didn't they
working
show
on.
Plague Tale too? Isn't Plague? That's
Plague
coming
Tale.
to. It's coming to Game Pass, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know when that's coming out or what price it's gonna be. The other game was only like $40, I think.
Shit's gonna be ridiculous, man. I can't wait for this.
And this is gonna. I wonder if this is gonna be another $15 game, or they're gonna try to. I wouldn't blame them for charging more.
Charge up. This
Dude,
look like
they
look like
should
they
put
put a
it
lot of work into this. shit.
Minimum 30, to be honest. Should be like 40.
That's what I was
I think
thinking.
so.
Like, yeah, they
Based
could,
on
they
the
could easily
quality.
charge that.
Based on the quality of the first game.
The last case of Benedict Fox.
Last
This is a
case.
$50 game, as far as I'm concerned. If it's
That
anywhere
was like-
near as long.
That was my number 1. That should make me think of like Eternal Darkness.
I
Well, you
Oh,
liked
yeah.
also. I saw you put on the Lightyear Frontier.
Yeah, we're gonna play that together because you seem
Yeah.
excited for that too.
Yeah, it
I'm in
looks
love with
cool.
the name. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
And
the
this-
Lightyear,
Frontier. It's too much.
Lightyear.
It's right.
This
Yeah.
is
Lightyear Frontier.
It's kind of weird.
fucking
Well,
art.
I think it was
This
Clocked
game.
who said this game didn't do anything for him, which I was surprised. Cause it.
Man, this was. This
Ooh,
was
that
my
other
number
one called Arabin. That one
Oh,
looks cool.
Airband looked cool too.
It's like a shadow. Like you almost
Mhm.
like could go in the shadow. Or something. It's very
I thought that shit was Origami 2 or some shit.
Oh yeah, no, I can see
Remember
that.
that stealth game, that stealth
Yeah,
ninja
yeah.
game, Origami?
Mm-hmm.
Did that what game was it? That I don't know if it ever came out. That looked I was kind of excited for last year. The Sony one, the from the Hyper Light Drifter guys.
Solar
Oh.
Ash.
Solar Ash. Did that ever come
It's
out?
still not out. I don't.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait! No, hold on. No, it's definitely out. It's definitely out.
I
Yeah, that
don't
game's
remember.
out.
Solar Ash is out? God
I
dang.
believe so. I thought
I
it
don't
was.
remember seeing any reviews.
Wait, did it? Yes, it came out. Yeah, it came out. Yeah, that's right. It's right. I wrote it down. Yeah, it came out in December.
Really?
Damn.
I didn't see one review for it.
This shit looks
This
so
looks
good.
good though.
It's ridiculous how good this looks.
And I forgot about this again because I was.
I was lucky enough to
Mired
watch
in
it,
boredom.
and I could skip like the Minecraft and the Sea of Thieves. I could jump ahead, so I didn't have to sit through that stuff.
I
Was
like
that ray
seeing at
tracing
least
I
they're
saw
making
in
more.
Minecraft though?
What happened?
Was that ray tracing they were showcasing in the Minecraft or not?
No, you're gonna be disappointed if that's what you think, because that's it. It shows that, and then it cuts to the actual gameplay, which is a different art
How do
style.
you spell that? Araban.
It's actually close to you actually you spelled it
Ray
right.
tracing.
You spelled it right. Well, with an
E-R-E?
E.
I think it's with an
Yeah.
I.
No. It's with the E. It's with the E.
Yeah.
No, at the end. Oh,
No. Irabani? No, it's Araban.
no, I thought the A was an I.
All this tinky winky cartoony shit though.
No, but
looks
that's what I
interesting.
mean, though. Like, look at all these
This
different
is the
styles
kind of
of
cell
variety
shaded
they have.
that I really like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should look
I
cool.
like this. This looks cool.
There's no
I'm
reason
digging
for
this.
Sonic not to
I'm
have
digging
a
this
cool
game.
art style. Frontiers.
And Raw Fury publishes some
This
good
reminds
games.
me a little bit of, obviously a different setting, but the art style reminds me of that Everwild or whatever. Just some of the cell shading usage on the characters specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some promise, but every game that piqued my interest said 2023 at the end, so I was like, well,
Yeah.
next year's gonna be that year that everybody's been talking about.
Until everything gets delayed in 2024.
No, I think it'll make. I think a lot of good stuff will.
Well,
make
yeah,
it.
most. I mean, these, especially like a game like this, I doubt it's gonna get
I
delayed.
think I'm gonna call it
necessarily.
right now though. I'm saying Starfield for winter holiday season 2023.
Yeah, I think it'll get delayed. Also, I don't think it's gonna be June, or anything before it. I think it will
I have
be
no
after.
problem with them if it's.
I like that
don't
airband. I think
release
it looks cool.
Don't release a cyberpunk situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked cool. So that's pretty much it. The other thing I want to talk about, which I think is gonna be a great game for us to play,
Shredder's Revenge.
but I can't help but wish that it looked a little more like Streets of Rage 4 does, art style wise. I like this, but I really love.
Does it have crossplay?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but 6 players.
It's 6-player online.
I thought
It doesn't
was,
matter which
actually.
version. I mean, I don't think this game.
I thought it was. I think it is.
Well,
crossplay.
yeah, I'm getting it free on Game Pass.
This game's gonna be fine running on the Switch. I imagine, but
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just a little envious of the. Ever since I played Streets of Rage 4, I was like, man, that's like the benchmark for like these style games, in my opinion. But this definitely looks more like the arcade did back in the day. But maybe have an option to like switch it. But
Maybe it should look more like Battletoads.
yeah, it just looks a little too pixely.
Well, that's kind of what they went for,
I
I
know
think,
it's
to
what
grab
they're
the
going for,
nostalgia
but
of like the
even-
previous game and stuff.
Even like the
Pixely is fine. It's just that it's a little too.
I think it's a
pixel.
little too much. I would have liked a little cleaner look, but that's kind of my thing. But it'd be fun as hell to play 6 of. I mean, we'll never have 6, but
No, we
Well-
gotta try, man.
I just looked it up. I don't. It does. They say nothing about crossplay, so we'd have to all get into the same thing.
I'd rather have it on PlayStation. But
I would get it on PlayStation if I got it.
I'd be better probably on the Switch with the Pro Controller. It'd probably be better.
Man, I need achievements and shit in my life, man.
You could get the limited run copy with the free Pizza Hut, man, with the
What if you can pick
personal
this-
pan pizza.
I
What if
think
you could
I'm
pick the
gonna-
same
I'm gonna
character?
Buy it. I'm gonna buy it on Switch, but I'm gonna play it on Xbox.
Man, look at this
Yeah.
man. He's like buying it on fucking everything.
I don't have to pay for the game or the Xbox version.
That is true.
Yeah.
If you have Game Pass, you don't.
Yeah, because look who decided to keep Game Pass.
Well, they ganked my ass a couple nights ago, and they do the, they charge you.
Oh,
fucking
did they? Okay.
2:00 in the morning and shit. With you, don't even I just got robbed. I got robbed when they did this.
That happened to me with HBO Max. I forgot to cancel.
Got robbed.
That's not a payment. That's a robbery. Man.
Well, they had to
2:00 in the morning. What the hell
Nintendo
was
and
that?
Right when
Sony-
you're asleep.
Nintendo and Sony had to change something because they were doing it illegally. The way they were auto renewing stuff. They had to change something
Well,
in there.
Xbox is doing that shit too. So Microsoft.
Apparently,
is doing
Xbox wasn't breaking the rule though. They were doing something different.
that.
Because it's like you don't even have it. Didn't. It seemed like it'd have to ask you permission. Like, hey, unless you had it set up, like, hey, I want to pay monthly.
For automatic.
But anyway, I mean that's all I got. I don't know what you guys got. Anything?
I
We
mean,
gonna talk about Nintendo.
that was it pretty much. That was there is some stuff that I do want to watch though. There's still other things like
Well, we didn't talk about Capcom. I mean, I talked
Where's
a little bit about
GoldenEye?
yeah.
Yeah, where's
Where's
Perfect
fucking
Dark?
GoldenEye, bro?
I remember a certain
People are
guy made a
No, but
video.
GoldenEye
The
had
remastered.
they had achievements and shit on their website.
Yeah, it's coming. Who
Xbox.
knows when? Though.
Yeah, but they're saying
Like,
GoldenEye, but what GoldenEye do people think they're getting? You ain't getting
No,
the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
You
You're probably
are.
gonna
You
get like
are.
No, it is. It is. The
that's what they're
achievements-
saying.
Yeah.
No, the achievements. If you look at them, it's GoldenEye from N64.
How can you tell by the achievements?
It's
'Cause they
I think
have little
call it
pictures,
GoldenEye
and it's called
007 remastered.
GoldenEye
something like that.
007 remastered. They
But like
they
the
made
fucking
that for
Daniel
360.
Craig one is called the exact same.
No, that's a remake.
No, it's
Daniel
not.
Craig, this is just called GoldenEye 007. GoldenEye
I
64 is
I
just called
forget. There's
GoldenEye.
something specific with it, which is what because it's because I think it's
Why
I
do
think
you
it says
think that-
rare. Hold on, we'll have to look. I think the developer
Dude,
says
if you
rare.
look at it, you know it's GoldenEye. The real,
Yeah.
not that bullshit.
No, but that's that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. But I haven't seen it. So
No,
that's
if you
why I
look at
know.
the achievements, you can see the photos.
Have you ever seen the
It's straight out of fucking GoldenEye 64.
Oh,
GoldenEye
really?
Source? Have you seen the
Yeah.
Source version that people remade? It looks just like it, but with clean graphics.
Well, Microsoft made the remastered version for 360, and Nintendo didn't let it happen because they still have some rights to the actual coding and all that of the game itself.
I think
so-
when that happens, that means you're also gonna get it on Switch probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be a Switch version as well.
Is it gonna have the ridiculous auto aim? I don't
I'm
think
pretty
you need
sure
it.
there should be crossplay, man.
For
you're going to have the what?
The
Auto aim? you said?
auto aim where the guns you're just like shooting over here and the gun's like because the N64.
See, I don't know if the remastered
I thought you
version
could
has
turn
it.
that off in the old game.
I don't know if you could or couldn't, but
I
you
don't
kind
think
of
so.
needed it with the because I never played with the dual analog 2 controller setup. What
That's
was
crazy. That was crazy.
That made me want to look.
Somebody
something
figured that shit out.
Trying to see.
What the double controller thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the menu you could select it like that, and then you saw like both controllers next to each other. I never tried that because that was some weird shit, man.
Yeah, see, like they have
a
the
big ass N64 controller in one hand.
they wanted
Love with that shit.
the achievements out, and they're literally screenshots of like
Yeah, the
N64.
screenshots of GoldenEye
yeah?
64.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know what they're waiting for necessarily. Like
I thought for sure, with the leak happening so close, I thought for sure they'd show it at their show.
That need if that doesn't have online, then like man.
that it
shit-
has to,
that
right?
shit
You
better
that
have
would be,
online.
what would be the point in that case?
It'd be disastrous.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster if it didn't have online.
Kojima tweeted 18 hours ago. I just noticed this.
Oh.
They said after the announcement of our partnership with Microsoft using the cloud technology, many people have asked us about our collaboration with Sony. Please be assured that we continue to have a very good partnership with PlayStation as well. People are
Because
so
you
obsessed with the fact that they think Kojima for
Ponies.
some reason is a Sony man. Like they own them. They
Yeah,
own them.
there's
or
Did they
Sony
something.
even
petition
Death
and then
Stranding,
removed
though?
from Xbox and stuff.
Yeah, they own a part of that IP.
No,
Because-
but they're like, but it's weird because I think people like there was a whole like, oh, that's it. The next studio they're gonna buy is Kojima, man. Kojima Productions. What?
Go
Yeah, they
ahead.
can keep them.
Not
like
yet,
that.
at
Who
least.
cares?
Not yet.
Kojima made games for everybody. He used to make games for even Sega.
Either way, you're gonna get one
He's not
game
owned
every
by
5-6
Sony.
years. So I mean,
Right.
Also,
Like,
because
I don't really care. I'm sure it's gonna be something I don't care about.
T said like the Jank Online earlier and stuff. Talking about Jank Online, we still needed to talk about Mario Strikers.
oh yeah,
Oh no, Mario. Oh no.
I
That's what I said earlier that I have no faith in Nintendo sports games anymore. None.
Well, the problem isn't even if you like characters or the size of the skill. Like from what I understand, you literally can't have a team of 4 people. You can't play 4 versus 4. They're lying. Like you don't play 4 versus 4. There may be 4
to be
characters
split.
on the screen against each
no,
other.
you can do if you have some 4
Yeah, if you have
split
somebody in your
screeners.
house, like you want to come over so we can all play together, like what
That's
the fuck?
insane. That's insane.
Yeah, so
Come
well,
on.
because it's specifically online, like the 4 of us could play, but you can't have any more, right? That's essentially what it is. That's how I see it.
You
It's like
couldn't
so. It's
play-
like
It's like two people on the team. They're like not more than 4 switches can connect, from what I understand.
yeah,
That's
which I
that's
mean,
insanity.
I guess I don't know. Admittedly, I didn't. I don't
Bitch,
know,
you can hook up 8
I didn't
GameCubes.
expect more than 4
Game-
players.
Can you play? I wonder if can we do a squad of 4 and play a group of guys we know also in a squad of 4, or is it just
No, that's
random?
the whole thing.
No.
You can't play 4
You can't.
versus 4. You can only have 2 people on one team.
So
You can't do.
you
You
can only
can't do
do
what
only
you do in
2v2.
Splatoon.
You can do 2v2.
Only 4 switches can connect. From what I understand, the only way to have 4 versus 4 is if you have somebody in your house
Local.
and they play locally with you, and then you go online to somebody else locally with, and all that, some bullshit like
So
that.
basically,
Can't
it's
play
4 player
versus 4.
online. That's just what it is. 4
Can
player
somebody
online.
please tell
Exactly.
me why? Anybody tell me why? I have
I
no
don't
idea.
understand
Tell me
this.
why.
I guess it's interesting though, because I guess from my expectation, I don't know why I just didn't expect more than 4 player online. And just I don't know, it
Yeah,
just didn't
but-
cross my mind that
so
what
that
it was
means
going to be.
Right.
You didn't
You're
expect
sitting
for
there-
the 4 of us to be able to be on a team
Yeah, exactly. They're saying 4 versus 4. Like, what else? What does it,
and be able
does
to
that
play
mean?
against
You
4
know?
other humans. You didn't
You're
expect
sitting
that.
there on one.
I guess I
pretty
didn't
smallish
think about it.
field.
It just didn't cross my mind.
They made a whole thing. Even you can make
It
like
shouldn't have
your own
crossed your mind. It
league
should
and
just
put
be-
your team together
You
and
shouldn't
shit.
have to
It
think
should just
about
be
that.
normal.
It should just be there.
No,
and
it
be
should
fixed.
just be. It totally should be. But
I just expected it.
I-
It didn't cross my mind either.
I mean, if I was
But that's what I mean.
that would be
who
the only
thinks
reason
of
to
that?
buy the game is for the 4 of us or 4 plus to all play it together.
That's what everybody was thinking. I don't understand who comes up with the design of this game. Yo, let's do 4 versus 4. Oh yeah, but let's only do 2 people per team. Like, who thinks of that? Like, what's the point in that? I don't get
Probably
it.
the way it
Yeah, that's
works with
pretty
the
odd.
AI, it's probably just better than playing with 4 completely human characters. But the other issue is it's just another not like what do you call middleware effort. I mean, yeah, it looks good, and Next Level good at that. But
Play solid. Next level came up. They did it all. They did their
Well,
thing. with
apparently
that.
it's really like one of the like surprisingly in depth like really like
is it? Because
the tutorial lasts like for forever because like there's so much like things
to me it
like
just looks like a bunch of gibberish happening on screen. And maybe there is depth to it and you figure it out, but it just looks like nonsense. All this crazy stuff going on. I'm like,
well from people like from like legit from people that I said that they find it hard to really play because there's too many like I guess I don't know
Mechanics?
moves apparently. Yeah,
see,
apparently
that's,
Oh,
that's
really?
good to hear. I just see so much happening on screen. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean when you're looking at it to me I'm just seeing you're passing the ball and shooting. Like it
How
doesn't
about
really
you dial back on some of the mechanics and add in more characters to this bitch as some more modes?
I think the
Like-
stage needs to be bigger too. I don't know how the past
Stage
games
does
were.
look kind of smallish.
It looks all kind of
it's the same.
condensed. Yeah, I think you had an opportunity to at least give the option to play a more zoomed in and I don't know, maybe over the shoulder option for not just replays for the game. But I don't know. I didn't play it. It just seems like it doesn't have a ton of variety. There's not a ton of and the online's whack, and it's just like I expected better from Next Level.
Yeah, I mean, I think the gameplay looked pretty good. It looked fine and all that. It's just, here's the thing. I because we talk about buying Wii U ports and all this stuff and why we don't do it. I had no problem. This is one of I don't think I ever articulated this before. I had no problem getting Mario Kart because it's the only way to actually buy that game and have everything actually be on the cart. Mario Kart Deluxe. And I'm like, okay, yeah. To me, that's also an incentive. And like, I would happily go out and buy Smash Brothers Ultimate, version where it has all the fucking DLC characters in it. Yes, because it's great to have all that stuff on the cartridge. And so the problem with these games, Mario Golf,
Tennis,
Mario Tennis, is
Nintendo
all
Switch
the content comes out later. Nintendo Switch Sports, all the content comes out later, and so when you go back to that game, you go back to that game later, and it's just like the bare bones, version of the game because the servers are down. You can't download this shit anymore. I think about that stuff. I know most people don't care. A lot of people don't care about that stuff, but I do. It's like the value isn't there, and when it's there, it's all in the air. It's all online. It's not even on the disc that or the cart I bought. So
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
I hate
believe
that.
Nintendo
I hate
Switch
that
Sports
about
launched without golf, launched without
no golf,
baseball and stuff. Like those should have just
no
been there.
baseball. That's insane, bro.
Maybe add some new stuff later, but to me, and that's a $40 game. It's a little bit better.
Yeah, you add in badminton later. Don't.
Yeah.
You know, like what the fuck is that? Like.
So Tia, you're gonna buy in like 2 or 3 years. You're gonna buy like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus.
Nah, fuck. I don't care about.
Oh,
the new
that's
track.
true. Because now you have the damn. I
don't
just
care
thought
about
about
the
that.
new
Yeah.
tracks.
Now Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not on the cart because of the new
Yeah.
those other tracks.
Because of you
Forgot about
motherfuckers
that.
out here buying this game 40 million times. And shit.
The only tracks that interest me are the new ones, not the remade old ones,
The remastered, yeah.
because they're not as exciting. The new tracks looked pretty cool in that first batch, so maybe if there's more new tracks,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna buy the DLC at some point. You know I'm done with this shit. But I just don't. I don't like the fact
It
that
is really good though. It is not literally like just copy paste mobile shit. It looks good and it feels like Mario Kart.
But
It
getting
is
back
really
to the
fun.
sports thing, though, I mean, their last two games in a row were Nintendo Switch Sports and Mario Strikers, and both are kind of bare bones. I don't know how Switch Sports Online works. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad.
Yeah, I think the online
You
works
see
really
how
well for
excited
that.
I was for golf? Go to my channel right now.
Mhm.
Go to the homepage of my channel. Mario Golf. Like I was
Yeah.
excited for that shit, bro. And then they
Talk
killed
about it.
all my excitement.
Yeah, that was a buzzkill when they showed it the next time, and it was like, oh, just these courses all look the same. There's no. Where's the Nintendo courses? Where's these awesome,
where's
cool
the
themed
Nintendo?
courses?
Exactly. Well, you
Um,
got New Donk City. Fuck off.
That is probably the best.
What
course,
is
though.
it done? Wisdom's talking about. Gameplay is awesome. It was super fun, but it's not done. It should be 2023. Tennis is awesome now too. Nintendo. Oh, you're just talking about. I didn't care for the tennis's main gameplay mechanics. I just got so frustrated by these ridiculous chain chomps,
ass.
ridiculous range.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just waiting for your special.
It wasn't fun.
It's like I actually genuinely like a just solid tennis game. GTA 5. I played dozens of tennis matches in that game. I had a legit tennis simulator in that game, and I used to play it all the time.
I would say Mario Tennis on N64 was closer to just a fun. I mean, yeah, you still had some over the top stuff happening, but it was a solid tennis game at its core and shit. Like
You were mostly just playing tennis.
right.
in Mario Golf, that's what I expect. Like I want a solid golf game at the core, and if I want to do the extra stuff, the running into people, rush mode, but just have the core game and then have some, like, why am I not in the actual
Have some
Mushroom
flavor.
Kingdom, Princess
Yeah, some
Peach
flavor.
Castle at the tee box, like Goombas and shit all around.
N64 GameCube version had all that shit, bro. Like
And in HD with beautiful visuals. I just think that would have been, obviously it would cost them more money, but just think that would have been the way to go. Take the Mario Kart 8 approach, go all in, see what happens. Yeah, it's not going to sell 20 million as a golf game, but golf's a pretty damn popular sport. A lot of people play golf.
I learned how to play golf. I learned
Yes,
the game of golf playing Mario Golf. That literally.
Robert
So-
didn't
Yes,
even know when he was playing with his mom. I don't know how golf works.
I don't know how golf works, but no. I just wanted to say because I was telling you that this is what from hearing from people. Like one of the I saw a review right now from Inverse for Mario Striker says it's just too complicated for casual players. Like they say that apparently there's it's
Well,
pretty the gameplay there is really
if there's a lot of
pretty
depth
in-depth
to it,
apparently.
that's great.
Yeah,
apparently.
and that would be great if they had more shit to do. Like I'm all for that.
Because Rocket League,
That's what it says,
Rocket League,
yeah.
the skill ceiling, they're still the pros. I mean, how long has it been out? 2017?
Yeah.
No, 2015.
2015.
There's
That
pro
game has
players
longevity because
are still figuring out new mechanics. Now they can wave dash along the wall, and when they're out of boost, and
that damn wave dash.
they're doing flip resets where the car, if your four wheels touch something, then you get your jump back. So they use the bottom of their car touches the ball perfectly, and then they can jump again. They'll jump, hit the ball again, rotate their car, lands on their wheels again, jump. They do a double, triple flip resets and score goals. I mean,
That's
the
the type
game
of shit made me not want to play online.
just has the depth of no other game. Like, you literally, it's like an actual sport where you have to just practice and get good. It's not just about reflexes and hitting the right button. You actually have to control
Waiting
the
for
car.
your special.
So it's just like, if Strikers has depth like that, that's intriguing to me. But the rest of it's got to be there too. We'll see though. I mean, it looks great. I actually prefer the little
Nice.
self-shaded cinematics. I kind of wish the whole game looked like that.
Yeah, right.
'Cause I thought that
So it's
I
nice.
think that looks really good.
Presentation is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think that's about it. There's a lot. We missed last week. I had graduation parties, 2 birthday parties, I had 3 straight days of stuff, and I was like, I was thinking maybe we try to do it on Wednesday, but then it just didn't happen. So, but yeah, there should be a Nintendo Direct next week.
All that kind of stuff.
Nintendo Direct next week for sure. Sources are saying.
Is it next week?
Or the following
Now,
week.
the
No,
sponsors
it's the
saying
week
the
after.
29th now. And
My
stuff.
birthday is,
yeah, next week.
A couple weeks from now, so
I mean, we've had it before that Tuesdays were announced for like Thursdays.
I'm cool with that. Let it fall on my birthday. I'm cool with that. Happy birthday to me.
Mhm.
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. So
What do you want
Hopefully-
in your Nintendo? What do you want in your Nintendo Direct team?
You know what I want, man. I'm tired of saying the same shit. I want me some F-Zero.
The only thing I'd
Surprise me, man.
expect in a Direct in the next couple of weeks would be another like surprise, like I don't know if they even have a Metroid Dread level surprise. I would think more like Paper Mario, Origami.
Show me some
King.
Mario Odyssey too.
Hey man, we got Paper Mario.
I
mean-
know. Honestly, I don't see
Chibi
them
Robo,
squeaking anything else
Eggman.
in this year.
Chibi Robo.
Robo's dead, bro.
Yeah, Pikmin 4.
Kid
what you got?
Icarus, like they have so many dead franchises, man. Like I don't even.
I'm totally on the F-Zero board after playing GX.
Yeah,
and
you are.
playing Maximum. Well, I would.
How about
Be
a
awesome.
release date for Bayonetta 3? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's October. Hold on. Let's see. Let's check the calendar. That
I was
is
gonna say, I thought we
October.
had that.
It is going to be
we haven't seen
October
it since last-
21st.
When did we see Bayonetta 3? The November or September Direct, whatever it was.
That needs a new fucking trailer.
It was whatever that last direct. I don't know the month.
That trailer started
was
playing
last
last
year,
time.
right?
It looked like
It's when they
it
start.
looked like,
Yeah,
Was it last year?
I think
when,
so.
I
when
would-
they did the
I guess
Astro
it's
maybe
Astro
early
Chain
this
trailer.
year.
this year.
It had to have been right because
I gotta say, I definitely need to see more because if the more 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
This year.
the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, this whole entire trailer takes place in this one spot in this like.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
like
city.
the Astral Chain trolling shit.
Yeah.
I did a reaction to that. I went back and forth like
I
3
love
times.
her new
with Astral
design.
Chain.
I don't know if I like the.
That shit looked like
art
Devil's
style change.
Third for a minute too.
Oh no!
It's just the environment,
Some
and
of those
stuff in the
Little
background.
soldier
are looking
character
a
looked
little-
like they was straight out of Devil's Third.
But yeah, there's still some stuff to find out. I don't really like the character design though. It just feels like they took a completely different approach to the game visually.
Yeah, I'm not in love with
'Cause
it.
two
Yeah.
looks- two
It
looks
doesn't have
amazing.
the same vibe as two. It doesn't look clean. It has a softer glow
It
around
does.
everything.
I think that's the only way they're gonna hit 60 though, is to scale it down.
But I mean, like, why? Didn't 2 run at 60? The thing was smooth as
Yeah,
shit.
but it was the Wii U.
Yeah,
was a beast.
exactly.
The Wii U was a beast.
Yeah, it was a beast.
But anyway, let's get out of here.
More like 57 to 52.
Yeah, it's more like 50s, high 40s, low 50s, but yeah.
Yeah. 47.
We'll see what else. I talked a little bit about the Resident Evil stuff. I'm super excited for the third-person mode in Village because it just looks like what I've been asking for since 2 Remake. Just make a new game with that engine and that camera perspective, and
Yeah.
I think it'll completely change how Village feels and plays. So I'll be definitely replaying
Probably, yeah.
that in October. And the DLC, the story continues. It looks really
Yeah,
cool.
DLC
It's funny
would be
because that's
fun.
why I've held off from 7 and 8 Because I'm like
Yeah.
that
I
first
don't
person.
love the
shit.
first
Don't
person.
Feel,
I
don't
don't
feel
hate it.
Resident Evil to me.
Yeah.
But seeing Village in the third person, I'm like, holy shit! Like that looks like a true new Resident Evil game, and it looks awesome. So, looking forward to that in October. So if Bayonetta doesn't come out, I'll be playing that. Cause I actually started it and I got all the way through the mansion again, or the castle. On my
That's
second
like half the
playthrough.
game.
It's
That's
just
like the
a
majority of the
mode,
game.
right?
It's a
So
mode.
you're gonna play
like,
some first-person Lady Dimitrescu?
Yeah, but they actually.
Yeah, that's true. She's gonna be a little further back now. You can't see her up close and nice.
Yeah,
I like the
Can't see
mercenary
the cake.
shit. You can play
Can't
as
see the
her.
cakes no more.
yeah. The
Oh,
mercenaries. You
that's
can
right,
play
yeah,
as her.
they had
She's 9
today.
foot tall, towering above everybody, grabbing by the throat. And
Yeah.
it's like that looks cool. So, and then Monster Hunter Rise getting a big update. It's paid DLC, but they spent a lot of time on that. And I mean, for Monster Hunter fans, I'm sure that's great. I still don't think that game looks anywhere near as good as Worlds, though, visually. Even the PC version of Rise just looks a little.
No, PC version Rises is an up-res kind of
Yeah.
Switch game. Well, I think it's one of the better looking Switch games out there.
So good looking.
It's a good looking game.
And it's the true, Monster Hunter, whereas Worlds was.
People thought that was Switch Pro. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Switch Pro, man, confirmed.
I'm so glad we don't have to hear about Switch Pro anymore. Like, remember?
Oh, you'll start
it's
hearing
over.
about it again.
People have all given up.
And I
it'll
made
be
that
Switch
video, and someone called me bold for saying there is no Switch Pro. Like, I just called.
But at this point, people keep talking about, but when's the next console? Is it 2023? Is it 20? Like, people are like just waiting for this
Anybody who
next
thinks
thing.
the Switch
It
Pro.
was only halfway through.
Anybody who thinks the Switch successor's coming out in 2023 now, I gotta say, you're delusional.
You just trying to get clicks. That's
Because then Mario Kart 8 DLC is to the end of 2023. They're not going to release a new system.
Maybe
another-
they end the DLC to start a new Mario Kart 9 the next month after
No.
with the new console.
Because you
Imagine-
guys wanted to like fact check me earlier, that's another thing I've said for like years already. The Switch is
have
not going
been
to
saying
be here
it's
for
gonna
This
be-
like
man
4
is getting out his
years.
grievances today. He's getting out all his
He has
grievances.
been saying, but you've been saying 2025, so it could come out in 2023.
I said it could go for about 10 years and shit. I said when it went on for 5 years, I was like, we could easily say 5 years. And I
So you
based
think
that on like facts and shit.
2027?
Yeah, you said something
2027.
ridiculously far away the last time you made a prediction for the Switch.
Yeah, I
2.
said it was about, what, 10 years in total. I think it could have a life cycle
That's
of when it was
2027, dude.
Yeah.
That's 2027.
There's
I think
no
it
I
was
think it'll be
like
2024.
I don't know, well maybe, but that was all based on the Splatoon 2 shit. Because Splatoon has to launch Splatoon 2. They're gonna
3.
support that shit for at least 2 years.
3.
Splatoon 3, you mean?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean that.
I mean, because you know that shit is gonna release like everything else, and the content is gonna just come only afterwards and shit.
Don't worry, Nintendo wouldn't be opposed to Splatoon 4 coming
Reselling
out in
that
2
bitch.
years.
Or selling that bitch again on Switch 2.
Yeah, there's. I
Together
was
with
thinking.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus. Ooh.
I had to reevaluate because I was thinking
That's
2023 for Switch 2, but now I'm thinking 2024. Just
I
because of
think
everything else that's
2024, yeah.
happened, the games they've announced. So, anyway, we'll get out of here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And
Maybe Switch 2 with the little, what do they call that? On the
Oh, like
math?
Exponent?
Exponent, right. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go, Nintendo. I gave you a logo idea.
There you go.
nice. I see Street Fighter. They changed their logo after the first reveal.
Yeah, that generic ass thievery
Call
they
of Duty
did.
looking
Yeah.
shit.
So yeah.